Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's Friday evening. It's been a long week, hasn't it? It's been a long week. Oh, it's been a long week. It's been a very, very long week. So, we are here. We have, of course, come to Friday evening. It is Oxford United in the British Steel Challenge. We're still top. Believe it or not, after 10 games, we are still top of the table. Oh, it was fun. It was fun on Wednesday. We've had a birthday since then. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But we also have a surprise shirt to give away tonight, which is, of course, from the 12-hour stream that we did the other night. There is, of course, a little thing in there that says there, if you do want a surprise shirt, and you want a little bit of a discount on it, go and check it out. TJFM in the checkout gets you 10% off. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But more importantly, we are going to talk about Oxford United and the British Steel. Evening, everybody. Raju already asking, am I a bit taller? Happy birthday for yesterday. Thank you very much, Raju. Appreciate that. Very kind indeed. Wilco, happy Friday. He says, Broad Sisters in. I'm in Turin tonight. Missing Juve in Torino by 1 day. Broad Sist, this is... You've absolutely... you've raised the bar. Nobody else is in Turin. But you know what? Well done. Well played, man. Awesome work. Money Badger is in. The Honey Badger, the Money Badger. I did see you say no one would finish undefeated. Made the kids cry. Hey, look, I just call it like I see it, Honey Badger. You've got to be there to prove me wrong. And that's exactly what you did. So congratulations on that for last night's path to the playoff success. Coming in undefeated. I don't think anyone's done that before. So congratulations to you, buddy. Rada is in as well. Of course, Fat Nigel has come straight from H2. We'll have a bit of H2 around these parts. Dan FM Gamer 21 again. You better believe it, buddy. You better believe it. Looking good for 30, says Wilco. We're getting there. We're getting there closer. It's just slowly nudging up to where we get the real age, and everyone goes, shit, you really supposed to still be on the internet at that sort of age. And this is worrying. Do you know what I mean? Trek was undefeated before with 6 wins and 1 draw. That's what I'm told. Okay, cool. Fair enough. I should probably be a little bit more up to speed on my path to the playoffs trivia, to be honest. So, has the bus pass arrived yet? Asks the Almanac Gamer. Not yet, mate. Bloody Royal Mail strikes, isn't it? So, one day it'll turn up. One day I'll be able to get the on the bus. But until now, I can be a menace on the roads until then. So that's where we are. A15, hello, pal. Welcome in. You're just a young pup. I appreciate you, A15. Very kind indeed. Look at this, by the way. On the old Oxford here. 5 matches unbeaten. That's fantastic. We're having a great time. It's at top of the league, as you can see. 3 points clear of Bournemouth. Granted, they've got a game in hand, but 1 defeat in 10 games. We've got a better goal difference than everybody else as well. And look at this. Loads of green. Loads of green. An unfortunate defeat against Swindon. Didn't like Swindon, to be honest. So we've fallen foul there in the local derby. Interestingly, beat Sunderland in the Carabao Cup. So that's very, very interesting. Very interesting. We didn't play Newcastle. Of course, we can just ignore that because that's not a real thing. So out of the Carabao Cup. We are still in the Papa John's, though. We're still in the Papa John's. We're hanging in there. Have qualified, so the Reading game doesn't really matter. We'll play someone next. So we are still in that competition. And of course, here, this is what we've got tonight. We've got Charlton, we've got Portsmouth, we've got Bradford, we've got Cambridge. That's 4 sides in the top 10. Then we've got West Brom. Then we've got Carlisle. Then we're in the FA Cup. And then Papa John's in there as well. Woking, Gillingham, Salford, and a big match against Bournemouth. Games are going to come thick and fast. We're going to have to keep being on at the top of our level, top of our game. Just keep chipping away. That's all we got to do, right? We got offered a new contract in the last stream as well. So if you were here, you'll have seen that. So we are now in the position where it's just literally, we're in the driving seat right now. We just got to keep going. Like, it's like that whole philosophical viewpoint, innit? Like you all you need to do is just see the next 100 yards ahead. That's all you do. We've got the headlights on, right? We're driving in the dark. We know. Just keep following that road. We'll get there. We'll absolutely get there. Owen Burns wants to leave the club at the end of his contract. That's fine. We'll cash in if we can. We're getting to the bit now where some of these players are starting to sort of like whinge on a little bit because they're not straight in and they're not playing every single week. But this is the problem. Like, you know what I mean? We're at the top of the table. We can't just be like pandering to everybody and letting them come straight in because it's like, oh, I want to play games. Like, good. You should want to play games. You should be upset that you're not taking part in these matches. And that's where we are. Like, these people should be upset that they're not getting into the side. What that means, though, I mean, doesn't mean they're going to get straight into the team just because they're kicking off. But, you know, we'll see where we go with it. We'll see where we go. All we can do is just keep doing what we got to do. It's all we can do. All we can do. Dan's 30 in July. There we go, Dan. Look at that. There's the big one. The big one's approaching. Wilco, you're only as old as you feel. I'm 42 this year and I enjoy FM just like I did in my teens. That's good, Wilco. That's good because we turned 43 yesterday and I still enjoy FM just as much as I did in my teens as well. So there you go. 43 is what you need to avoid relegation, says yeah, there you go. That's it. I'm now, as long as I get the amount of points I have in age, then we shouldn't get relegated. That's how I approach life now. Like, I've reached the 43 mark. I'm not getting relegated, right? Now I can go for mid-table survival now. That's what I've got to look forward to. But yeah, with this club, though, I'm starting to think with this club, we've done pretty well. We've done pretty well, given how I wasn't convinced when we took over Oxford in the first instance. I remember 4 games in going, I don't really know if I'm fussed with this, to be honest. Here we are, 4 seasons later in League One, being like, we're top. This is going well. We're enjoying this. So we've obviously got to just make our way. Wilco there saying looking forward to the playoffs in a couple of weeks. Last night was great. Yes, last night was fantastic, to be honest. Really enjoyed it. And well played. GG's, I believe, to everyone who was involved, from both the on-screen talent who were running the show, the competitors, of course, the people who were working in the truck behind the scenes, everyone pulling like massive shifts to get that thing sorted out. So congratulations to everybody. Fat Nige says I'm stinking out European qualifications, 64 in September. Also striking out for European qualification. Get it done, Nige. Get those points in the bag. Nige is way out in front. Loving it. We might even be able to get the title at this point, you know, because there might not be that many of us are going to reach 64. So it does make me realise while playing this game, I was selling a 28, 29-year-old. Players are too old. Oh, Dan, like, the problem is, you'll now, when you get to our ages, you start to look at these players and you're like, that could actually be my son. Like, and you get to the point when you sort of go, my son's now probably old enough to not want to play anymore. Like, you know, realistically, I could have a son who's getting towards the end of his career going like, I don't know, I'm not really fussed. But hey, everything's relative, innit? Everything is relative. That's what we know about all this stuff. So we just keep having fun. Keep having fun. That's all we can do. Let's see. We got Oggy's only got the 6 in 14 at the minute, and we're sort of like looking at this, thinking things are going well, and this is with Oggy not exactly banging them in. Paley's only got 2. Fresno's got 3. Jenkins Davies got 3. Maguire's got 2. Hoping for a match engine patch soon? Not really, Wilco. Look, I'm the only person in the FM community who thinks this game plays well. So for me, I don't. Unless something drastic happens that I can't see. Like, I think some of the throwing stuff is a bit weird. Like, I think that some of that's a bit weird. You'll occasionally just default to throwing it to nobody. I think that's a bit odd. But I don't see a massive amount of issues really with the match engine. I think it's good. I think what you need to remember is, as SI always say, what you see is a visual representation of what the match engine comes up with. So it's not a match engine improvement that needs to be improved. It might be a graphical or an animation thing that might need to be improved. So where some of the penalties look a little bit soft, if in the actual match engine, the hard coding of the game, it probably makes sense. But then what you see might not necessarily be 100% accurate, if that makes sense. So it looks a bit soft on the eye when you're watching it like this. If you played it on commentary only, you'd never notice issues with the match engine. If you played it on 2D, you'd not notice. Like, and I know that's not the point. And you shouldn't be like, oh, well, yeah, if you take everything off, then you're not going to see it. But that is a reality, So therefore, that boils down to it's an animation issue. It's not a match engine issue. Do you know what I mean? Like, so, and I think that's where there's a little bit of misunderstanding, possibly. But for me, I like it. I've said all along, I like this game. I think it's really, really good. I think it plays well. I think it's harder than previous versions, and I think some people don't like that. I think there's not as many tactics that can break the game like last season, where there were so many things you could go asymmetric just to exploit holes in the match engine. Can't do that this year. They've fixed it. So now if you're going asymmetric, you have to have a reason to do it. You have to understand why you're doing it. In the same way that strikerless is that thing, you've got to understand it. This is the broadcast angle. Yeah, the director cam. That's the one that I like to use. I think it's more reactive. I think it plays like PvP, and I think the AI are a bit smarter, and I don't think people like that either. So you're never going to please everybody. That's how you got to look at it. You're never going to please all the people all the time, and there is like some people will be kicking off there the fact that the centre defenders missed that header. And I'm like, fair enough, yeah, it happens. Like, maybe I'm a bit older, maybe I'm a bit more chilled out, maybe a bit more relaxed, that I sort of go, this is a video game. There's bigger issues in the world than whether my defenders headed that or not. Like, if that costs me a title, so what? I chalk it down to entertainment value. Some people obviously have a different viewpoint, absolutely fine. But for me, I'm just like, yeah, all right, whatever, no problem. Like, and I don't know how much it takes to change something like that. Like, I don't know if you change one thing, what else do you affect? Because it's all balance, isn't it? You do get mistakes, absolutely. Some things do look a little bit silly, but then again, some things look silly in real life, because that's why own goals and gaffes exist. There's Paley with the first goal of the stream tonight. Puts us in the lead, 1-0 against Charlton. But, I don't know what you want. I don't know if people want things that are... This is going to sound really silly. I don't know if people want things that are 100% perfect. Look at VAR. People don't like the fact that it now shows up errors in the human eye, and it shows up what is correct, and you're then going into this very sort of like clinical way of looking at football and way of looking at the game. And there's Oggy, 2-0, and I don't know if people would enjoy that as much, because you'd be sat there, right, and for a fact that there'd be people, if they had the perfect VAR in this game. We've seen it before with goals disallowed. Everyone's seen it, where it's so narrow on the game. People kick off about, I can't believe that's offside, blah, 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 blah. Think about this, right? In order for VAR to work on Football Manager, Sports Interactive have got to code in the fact that there's been a mistake, right? So there's been something there that has been constructed in the code to make the player be offside. Then they've made the code to review that, okay, to check that what they've done is correct. Then they've been able to prove that what the decision was correct in the first place, therefore it was offside. Some people then saying, VAR should be wrong. So you're then going to make them try and say that they're then going to suggest that people then code VAR to be incorrect again. What do people want? What do people want? Do you know what I mean? Ridiculous. Nige, look at what Alisson did against Madrid. Kicked the ball straight to Vinicius and bounced straight into the net. 100%. 100%. Yes, it happens incredibly infrequently. And even here, we're saying that this isn't happening all the time. But it has to happen infrequently because mad shit happens in football. That's what makes football exciting in those moments. Those Carriers Champions League moments, they happen. It's happened in game, and people will have gone off their nut doing it. But it doesn't happen all the time. Even then, that's not... Look, fine, that might not look like a particularly strong foul, but it's a foul nonetheless, You just gotta be alright. Just deal with it. Just deal with it. It's not a problem. It's just a game. It's just a game. Hello, Watoza. Welcome in, pal. Nice to see you. Let me just quickly edit this a second, because Doesn't seem right. Change that. There we go. Right, welcome in, Matosa. Cheers on the great stream. Loving the podcast. Question for you in the FM vets. Do you think FM could ever evolve to a more graphical game where you feel the intimidation of walking the Allianz Arena or La Bombonera? A loud, hostile environment. You know what? No, I don't think it will. I don't think it will. I think that what will happen is here's a bit of a discussion point as well. Even story, welcome in, pal. I think that there's two sets of gamers that SI have got to try and appeal to at this point, okay? There are the vets, as you say, the vets like myself, who played this game when it was just text, okay? So the graphics for me, I don't mind the graphics. The graphics, I'm not buying the game to make it look like FIFA, because I'm not bothered. Like, I've played it when it's just literally text messages right, across the bottom. There is a generation, of course. Hello, Dean. Welcome in. You're right. You've joined a really, really interesting time. The question Matos has asked, okay, is, and the question was, do we think FM could ever evolve to a more graphical game where you feel the intimidation of walking the Allianz Arena or La Bombonera, a loud, hostile environment? Okay, now, I think what I was saying, Dean, is for my generation, we're into that whole, you know, we like the text. So for us, the graphics weren't really a thing. But there is a generation of football fans and video game fans who grew up on FIFA, right? Who would watch the game and they'll be looking at that going, oh, the graphics are a little bit behind what FIFA's doing. Thing is, what I would argue at this point is that this game doesn't rely on its graphics. This game relies on a little bit more. In fact, I would say, argue not a little bit more, a lot more. There's so much more under the hood that is more mechanical than FIFA. Like, it requires a bit more consideration, a bit more thought, maybe. Maybe I'm being a bit snobbish if I suggest it's a thinking person's game. It's a strategy game, really, if you wanted to boil it down in a sense, you know. It's a strategy game rather than a sports game. Like, because you don't control that sort of day-to-day football, right? Like, yes, the stadiums could look nicer, but then again, you're into that whole thing about licensing, right? You've got the licenses anyway for the leagues, some leagues, right? So that costs money. Yeah, the more money you start paying, the more, like, ultimately, what is the official? What is playing a match for us as Oxford, right? Would it make a difference if we're actually playing in the Kassam Stadium? Do you know what I mean? Like how much more enjoyment would we get? I agree to a sense that you need to have that big match feel of going into like a sort of a difficult stadium. I get that. That's a great thing. But I think they're slowly getting there with that. I think the things like the Champions League draw, the UEFA draw, the FA Cup draw, that's now starting to build it and make it feel like there is a bigger match going on. Like the presentation is improving all the time. I think that yes, the sounds maybe need to be looked at, but then again, where do you draw the line? What sort of chance could you actually have? The chance would eventually get a bit repetitive after a while, because you just get United. Oh, let's go City or whatever. Like, you know, you're not going to get the chants that are popular or that are very of their time. So that's not going to be a thing that's going to be represented in the game. You're not going to have, for example, "You'll Never Walk Alone" or whatever, because that's a licensing issue. Right? You can play that yourself. Plug Spotify in and play it yourself. You could totally do that. But for moments like, I don't know, like the Poznan, for example, you just see that as a representation. Like, it's a thing. Like, would this make the game better? We've got Peterborough in the FA Cup. That's cool as. Would it make the game better? For me, not necessarily. I'd still play the game with the graphics that they are. You've got a lot of people who play on laptops, really low-powered laptops, really low-powered PCs. Do you want to cut out a huge portion of new game players to go, you can't play it because we've decided to put this new stadium overlay in? Like, I don't know personally. For me, I don't think the graphics add to the game, but then again, that's because, as I say, I'm from an older generation. Like, it's been mentioned in the chat here, we're telling stories. Like, a lot of what happens goes on in your head. Do you know what I mean? Like, for me, I'm a relative recent convert to 3D. I guess I've been playing 3D for 10 years. To the little dots, fine with that. I imagined it all in my head as to what was happening. When 3D came out, I was like, that's almost like I see it. Like, you know, but I'm not sat, like, I know GTA is very graphic heavy because I'm playing on a console. Like, I don't know. For me, I don't think personally it would change my enjoyment of it. Some people it would. Some people absolutely would. Absolutely, it would be a better game for them. But I don't think that it's. I think that there's better things to focus the time on, to be honest, in terms of the overall match experience. You know. And I'm more than happy to debate it. I'm waiting for some further responses coming out, and I'll read them out and see what's what. Dean's a really interesting person to have in, of course, because Dean does work for SI as one of the researchers. So it's interesting to sort of see the consumer view versus the view of people who actually are connected to the game. And obviously, you know, this is not a thing for Dean to have to defend or anything like that, but it's just interesting that Dean pops in, and especially at that time as well. Well played, Dean. That was perfect. So if there are queries are good. Queries and clarifications are good. I mean, one thing I will say is that, yes, sometimes it looks a bit weird where you see the same burger van for 10 years, but hey, that's fine. It's all right. It's not a problem. Like, part of me would love a stadium builder, but it ain't going to happen. And I'm fine with that, because, again, it takes away a little bit of the quote-unquote realism. I don't need it. The only thing I would need a stadium builder for would be when I'm taking teams from teeny tiny tier 10 to the Premier League. I want to see that evolution in the stadium, but you kind of see it anyway, so I'm not really that fussed. I don't need it at the level of, you know, going back to your Ultimate Soccer managers or your LMA manager or whatever, which, again, we're a little bit more arcadey, you know. Story, I'm brand new to the game. FM23 was my first, but I think it's a game that doesn't require graphics to be enjoyable. Very, very, very good point, Story. Yeah, absolutely. Celeste, I wouldn't say it has to be the Kassam, but maybe a facelift of the stadiums would be nice, a little bit more variety. Having said that, I haven't gone abroad yet, so maybe there is. There is a slight variation in stadiums from abroad. There are still templates, of course, but again, it's like, this is your rendering time. Like, you've got some laptops take ages to render between games, whereas this is a graphic that's rendering right now on the fly. Again, will it slow things down? Will people then complain, oh, the graphics take so long to play? Go, yeah, because you want brand new 3D models. It's all about trade-off, isn't it? I remember FM15 was super slow on a Mac, super slow, really bad. And ironically, it was one of the best graphics updates, I think. But yeah, it was painfully slow. Made my Mac sound like a fucking jet engine trying to do that. I remember a few years ago seeing flares in the crowd, which is pretty cool. I think that's still a thing, actually, Celeste. I think. Not seen much of it in the British Steel, I must admit, though. Being able to see a stadium change as you go up would be nice. Not a game changer, though. Bad, yeah, exactly, yeah. Not a game changer, but would be pleasant. And that's kind of where I was with it. Going, yeah, it'd be all right, but is it a key thing? No, not really. Half the enjoyment of the game is the story you're telling yourself. Zara said that, 100%, which is why it's perfectly suited for streaming. Exactly. And again, like, I think because of the fact that the entry requirements to FM are so low that its broad appeal is it's football. Like, the whole point behind it is how would you manage a football team, and the entry point needs to be low because that's the accessibility to football. I think that if you're constantly making people upgrade for the new game, like how many FIFAs do you get on an Xbox or a PlayStation before the new PlayStation comes out? I'm curious about that one because I'm trying to work out, is it like 4 or 5 or something? Like, can people afford to buy a new PC or a new laptop every 4 or 5 years? I don't know. Like, don't know. Would people pay for extra content? Some would. Would they pay enough for it? I don't know. It's all questions, isn't it? Could you have graphical sliders? You could choose the quality of the 3D graphics. You kind of already have that in a sense, but I don't know whether you could get more sliders or what. I'm not entirely sure. Zar, I'm not going to buy a gaming specific laptop. This is the only game I play. That's a good point, Zar. That's a really good point. Like, I've got a quite beastly desktop computer here that is like set up for streaming and video editing and stuff. I play Football Manager. You know what I mean? Like, I don't play anything that pushes this machine anywhere near its capabilities. But I've paid for that, like, to do all this sort of stuff. Like, it could easily stream. You name a graphic heavy game, I could play it quite comfortably, and it wouldn't even bat an eyelid, this machine, right? But not everyone's fortunate enough to be in that position where they can do that. Like, you know, so there is that trade-off. And again, we're in a cost of living crisis at this point as well. Like, where are people's priorities, I suppose? Many wouldn't pay more. In fact, they'd make a very loud, aggressive noise if the game cost more, says Dean. That's a fair point. Very fair. If you pay $5 extra per team, how much would it cost to produce individual things for 500,000 more teams? Yeah, it all starts mounting up, doesn't it? And it's that thing as well, like sort of that trade-off, isn't it? Like, as I say, ultimately, what makes it better? Because, right, say you tweak one thing, right? And again, I'm not near the end of the comments, so hopefully these are still filtering through. Say we upgraded the stadiums, right? Okay. For an example, we use that as the example. Okay. Say I decide, right, we're going to do a brand new stadium model, and there's going to be they're not going to be templates per se, but we're going to have loads of brand new ideas and brand new designs. Okay. What'll happen then is that these brand new stadiums will look fantastic. They'll look sleek as. Then you'll start focusing on all the crowd. And you'll be going, the crowd looks shit. Like, WWE, for example, I've seen the latest sort of like trailer for that. Looks great. Looks brilliant, the new game. Fantastic. Crowds still look a little bit animated for my liking. Like, we're in 2023, like, and this is on an Xbox One, I think Xbox S. Like, that's designed to work heavy graphics, and the animations of the crowd look shit. FIFA's crowd looks shit, and this is designed to literally be for these video games. Like, I don't know. I just don't know whether or not this is it. I don't know whether this is the thing that we need to be popping in and pushing up on. But hey, this is why we have these discussions, you know. Rather, if we're going to be okay with trash graphics, and they need to bring the match engine and the conversation to a top level. The game is subpar at the minute. See, I disagree with that, Rada. That's the thing that I'm unsure about. Jack Plays FM, by the way, I appreciate the raid, pal. That's very, very kind. I just, as I say, I don't feel as though the match engine is bad. I think I said before, like, what we see is a visual representation of the match engine. And I think that the match engine is probably solid. And I think if we do see any glitches, I think it might be an animation issue, personally. But I don't know. Maybe that's me. I'm not a games designer. That's how I understand it to be. You know. So we'll see. But also, thanks for answering the question. I'm UFM. I wonder what the game will be like in 5-10 years from now. Others will be playing for a long time. Oh, hey, we're told that the game is very, very different from 5 or 10 years ago already. Like, so as with everything, it'll evolve. It evolves, and there'll be a version that's great. There'll be a version that'll be better than this version. There'll be a version that's worse than this version. That's just how games work. Like FIFA has versions which are not as good as the previous version. Like, and again, I have to use FIFA as the almost comparable example. I know it's not a comparable example because it's like apples and oranges, but it just makes it easy for the conversation, I like the league table font. The league table font, thank you. That's part of the skin, Motoret. So we used the Tato skin for that one. So definitely download the Tato skin. But again, these are all little sort of like third-party stuff that's been designed by the community to help improve the overall feel of the game. But that's great. The fact that it's customizable, the fact that we can add little bits and pieces if we need to, Nigel, been playing the game for now for 25 years. The advances in that time are huge. Who knows what will happen in the next 25 years? Can't disagree with that, Nigel, to be honest. Like, and I think Watosi, that's something to think about. That we've got people in here. Blakey's out for 4 months of broken ankle. Oh no. Like, people play this game for 25 years. They play it for a reason. They're not playing it for the graphics. Because when we started, there wasn't graphics. We're playing it because it kind of gives us what we want. It fulfills what we need. Like, look at something like F1 Manager. Looked stunning. No one really plays it now. And that was less than a year. That's like 8 months or something since it was released. Like, looks brilliant. Looks fantastic. But they've got 20 cars. They've got 20 drivers. They've got 20 racetracks. That's all they've got to think about. Like, this is an expanding dynamic universe that we're talking about here. Like, you're talking about a multitude of stadiums that need constantly upgrading because the universe is dependent upon how many leagues you actually got running. So you could be adding leagues as you go. So we could get into 2042 and then add Asia. So does the game then have to understand that between 2022 and 2042, there's been 20 years worth of stadium improvements in Asia? Or does it just start with the default stadium in Asia? Because then you get people going, well, that's not realistic, is it? How are the stadiums still 20 years old? That's something to think about. And I don't know. For me personally, as I say, and I can only answer for me personally. For me, I'm not massively sold. I'm not massively sold. Right, I don't want to build stadiums, so I want to look at better player models, and I want to see what is happening on the field is 100% accurate and no interpretation. You're never going to get 100% accurate though. Rather, look at all the videos, and again, I'm going to use FIFA as an example. Look at all the FIFA videos where you get those crunching tackles and then players fly up in the air, or like sort of play goes for a header and then they sort of like float a bit. I don't want that. I definitely don't want that. I'd rather have this. I'd rather have this than those sorts of things where you get the ghost goals and things like that. And FIFA flaws, there's so many. Again, Google them and have a look at them on YouTube and TikTok and all that sort of stuff. And I'm only using that as a comparable. Like, no game is perfect as well. We've got to remember that. No game in the world is perfect. Because they're just not. Like, we're dealing with technology. Let's be honest here. We're dealing with technology. It's never going to be 100% accurate. It can't be because it's made up. I suppose, really. I don't know. Like, Rich, not exactly sure when, but the 3D. Sorry, not exactly sure when, but with the 3D and then all the press conferences and increasing complexibility, I had an awful spec laptop which made it slog. I ended up running on a copy of CMO 102 for years and came back to the fold in FM20. I hear that. People might go, you know what? Yeah, things are a bit too different. Some people are a bit like us oldies, shaking our fists at the sky, going, I don't like change. Might be it. Don't know. I thought eFootball and FIFA were different engines. They're different. They're different games completely. With Tours, they're like an engine is. Should eFootball merge their engine with FM? No, definitely not. It's a different game. That's like, what would be the example? It would be like adding the Sims into GTA and going, well, they're both open world games. Just stick that in there. I don't know if that's a good example or not. I might be wrong. Please feel free to tell me whether that's a good example or a bad example. I think in my head I was like, I think that just about makes sense, but I don't know if it does. So apologies. Let me know whether that happens. There's some things that happen you'd rather not want to see, but really think this year's match engine is fantastic, says agreed. Two separate things, says Car. Hello, Car, welcome in. Of course, you got yourself a little shout there from Raggio. It's definitely the match engine. The graphics engine is what you see. Yes, two different things, 100%. Hopefully the winter update fixes a lot, but breaks more. I hope it doesn't break anything. I hope it doesn't break anything. Because if it breaks, people are already complaining, and I don't think anything is broken. So imagine if something does break, the fucking whinges would just go on. Just wonder what they actually get to do. Do you know what I mean? They have a link for the skin, says Celtist. Yeah, just right up about head in there, Celtist. If you want the younger people to start playing, you need to upgrade the graphics. I get that, Rada, completely. I get you need to work out who you're trying to target. 100%. 100%. And if your target market is not, for example, if your target market is not 18 to 24s, then don't touch the graphics. Don't touch them. Like, leave them as they are. Like, because everyone who's over the age of 24, again, 24 is just a number I picked off the top of my head. If that's not your target audience, then don't change it. Be true to yourself. Stick to what you want to do, and make the best game you can with what you want to be doing, and that's fine. Like, it doesn't have to be for everyone. Like, I say this stream doesn't have to be for everyone. I know that I'm not. I know myself. I'm a bit like polarizing is the wrong word, but like I know that I'm quite opinionated. I know that like for me, I'm like, look, this is how we're gonna do it around here. I'm not gonna download tactics. I'm not gonna look to exploit the match engine. I'm not gonna look to play, Gegenpress 4-2-3-1 because I know it works. Like, I'm not saying that no one else should do that, but I'm just saying that me personally, the way I play the game, I want to do it this way, And is that how the game's designed and advertised? Don't know. Ultimately, I'm the 0.01% of FM players. Like, we streamers probably play the game more than anybody else because of the amount of time we're spending, right? But the game should not be done for just us, Like, there's 3 million. I think it was 3 million. I think that Miles had tweeted out. It's 3 million players of the game. Most people who play FM, I would imagine, probably play 3 seasons as Man U or Real Madrid, win the Champions League, and then they close it down and start again. That's what I think, right? I think the amount of people that play long-term saves with obscure nations is probably quite small. Yeah, I think the amount of streamers and content creators that play long-term saves is even smaller again. Like, that's where I think you are. So you've got to work out what's your percentages. Like, what are you looking at? Do you know what I mean? Like, from a business point of view, SI have to decide who are they marketing their game towards. Are they marketing it towards young people who play FIFA and they want to take people away from FIFA into Football Manager? If they do, they make a different game. Yeah? Are they wanting to keep an older demographic? Again, just a term. Are they wanting to keep the core people that they've got and the way that people like things to play? Then they'll keep it as it is. I mean, look, graphics aren't everything. Yeah? Tetris, one of the greatest games of all time. Graphics are blocks moving. Doesn't matter how good you make Tetris look, the game is still the same. The game is still the same. I can understand that people involved in the streamer showdown would want better graphics for presentation reasons. 90% of the players won't play anywhere near that amount. Yeah, I understand that, but again, you're talking these minute percentages, like, and there's not even been a streamer showdown this year. So if we're making better graphics for a program that doesn't exist at this time, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work for what? 8 people? 12 people? Out of 3 million users? seems like really bad maths for me, and I'm not very good at maths. Just think that, even for the playoffs, I don't think that we are getting the numbers from an audience perspective to warrant that. Like, we're not breaking 10,000 views every single show, 20,000 views every single show. We're not a huge game on Twitch. Like, we're getting bigger every single year, of course we are, but we're nowhere near the esports level of presentation that would require, massive graphical improvements. Like, last night was 456. Was that total views, or will call? Was that 456 at watching the show as it was? Because if it was, that's a big jump. But one of the biggest streamers said he's going to stop streaming FM next year if they're not improving the graphics. Couldn't stop laughing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, fine. go and stream something else. Like, if that's the thing, go and do it. If that's what it comes down to, then fine. But I don't think that you can't. No one's going to hold SI to ransom in that sense, because, like, how long does it take to make graphics? If graphics is a thing, how long does it take to fix it? I've got no idea, but I'm guessing it can't be done in a year. We know that there's match engine design changes happening because they're making women's football. We know that, right? We know that they're motion capturing women, okay, so that it plays differently, so it looks different, it feels different. We all know that's happening. So why are we thinking that it's going to happen right now for this year, when it's clearly being done with 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, whatever it is already being planned for? I don't understand it. It's a bit like complaining that the graphics in an Xbox One aren't great when you know the Xbox S is coming out, or the Xbox X or whatever it was is coming out. I don't get it. I don't get it. But no one's going to tell you the roadmap, are they? Well, what are you doing? What are you doing? I wouldn't expect changes in the year, but some kind of roadmap of what SI are planning would be nice. Okay, but what would you want them to say though about it? Just to play devil's advocate, what do you want them to say? The lukewarm reaction, the FM features. Well, the FM features that came out this year were, we're not going to bring out much that's changed. Fine. Okay, people were a bit like, fine, nothing's really changing. Okay, they've still sold a lot of copies. People still bought it. It's still positive. People are still playing it. I think they were saying that comparative to the amount of time that is spent on the game, I think it's slightly up from previous versions. So the reaction might not have been positive. And again, who the reaction's from, I don't know. But it's not really reflecting in terms of sales figures or usage time. So they've then got to work that out as well, And they've come from COVID as well. Do you know what I mean? They're still 2 years from COVID. COVID, of course, still being a thing. Like, they made a game during a pandemic. Like, I'm not saying that they're not on track. They might well be on track. But you know what? Even if they're like a year off plan, fine. For me, they've got enough credit in the bank. For me, they've got more than enough credit in the bank, like, to look around to bring whatever they want out. Do you know what I mean? Like, compare this to your F1 manager. And again, we'll use that as a comparable example. F1 manager came out, looked brilliant. They've already taken support away from it. So you've now got to wait for a new version. So there's not going to be a patch. There's not going to be an update. At least SI come out and bring new things and go, right, you know what? Here's 2 patches a year to do what we think needs doing. Like, do you know what I mean? Perfect point, Rich. Yeah. People give Netflix and Disney £60 a year for entertainment and the rest. You're talking 30 quid for a year, and then look at the hours we put in. Over 1,000 over 1,000 hours easily on these games. The reason I say I want to see what's happening on the field is as close as 100% as I try to see 28, 33-year-old players with acceleration of 9 and pace of 9 sprinting from the midfield back to the box and catching a 20, 26-year-old player with acceleration of 16 and a pace of 16. Okay. If that was to happen, though, if that was to happen, how many people do you think would kick the fuck off about the fact that old players aren't good on the game? People just sack it off. They'd start complaining. They'd be going, oh, you can't, like, if you're in the lower leagues, you still have to go and buy young players. That's not really how real football works, I suppose. Like, young players come in and they add something to the game, but players aren't just sent to pasture at 29. And I appreciate you're using just, arbitrary numbers and things like that as well, but you then don't factor in for the anomalies. Like, how could you factor in for an anomaly? Like, someone like a James Milner, for example, is as fit as most 24-year-olds. Really, granted, he's not as quick, but hey, he can still get around the pitch. How could you replicate that in the database and then create that with new gens who you're generating as you go through? Look at Luka Modric, still crushing it at 38? Look at Zlatan, 40. Everybody in Italy, 107. Like, but then you've got players like Michael Owen, cocked it when he was young. These players who just fall off a cliff when they get really, really, they get an injury, they lose their pace. Like, it works both ways. Like, no one has ever, as the closing said there, no one ever operates 100% of their capabilities 100% of the time. Nobody ever fully reaches their potential. A few people over exceed their potential. Most players miss it by a country mile. Like, how do we... I think there's so many variables that we're trying to look at that we don't understand how we could even apply this into the game, the mathematics and of how that works to generate something that is... We know why Michael Owen had to quit. He had to write a book. Yeah, exactly. So all the mathematics that's required to make that happen, like, how do you then input that into a game which, bear in mind, will have, say, a 10-year life cycle of players that are real right now, and then you want to replicate that for a universe that continues for, theoretically, ever. You're generating these players going through with those same parameters and those same possibilities and those same, sort of ideas that, where, how do you do it? I can't even finish the sentence because I don't understand how it works. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's where I am, and I don't. This is why I sort of, some of these times I look at these sort of discussions, I'm like, I am not educated enough at all to be commenting on these topics and these these sort of questions. But fuck it, well, I'll at least try. I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go as best I can. Wilco, don't feel bad for bringing it up at all. It's what you need. It's what you need. You know what I mean, this is healthy discussion, healthy debate. I'm not here to. I certainly won't be arguing for anybody for or against. I'll put my point across. I think it's healthy discussion, genuinely. Get hydrate on the go. I'm not paid by SI. I'll hold my hands up straight away. I'm not paid by SI. I'm not an SI employee. If SI do something wrong, I'll say SI do something wrong, because what does it benefit me? Nothing, right? I appreciate that, Good. Thank you very much. Although with your internet, probably not the best person to be doing that. But yeah, it's debate, discussion. Let's we need to talk about it. You know, it gives us something to chat about, doesn't it? Otherwise, we're just like, oh, look, here's a game we've just had a quick look at again. And I think as long as the conversation is healthy and it's articulate and it's done the right way, then the discussion is absolutely warranted. Absolutely warranted. With tours, I've learned so much about football as an American thanks to FM. I completely fall in love with the game thanks to this game. Okay. That I love that point there about the fact you've learned the game via FM. Flip side on that, Madden and NHL, probably the same for a lot of UK viewers. Like, you know, we would probably be learning American football through Madden, learning ice hockey through NHL. Like, yes, those games need to be TV presentation style because that's how they are on the Xboxes and the PlayStations. But you know what? I'd still love it. I'd still love a Football Manager style NFL game. Imagine that. Give me, quote unquote, you know, give me these graphics, right? Give me this match engine, but give me NFL. Oh, I'd be in my element. I would be in my element. I've looked at like draft day and thinking, oh, I'll get that. That'll be cool because that looks like it's just text. But even then, I'm sitting there going, this is great, perfect. All I need is a field, and I need to see what the players would look like, and I just want to watch the lines go. I'd be happy. Genuine. And you know what? I think a lot of people would be happy. In the UK, there's a big call for an NFL management game. And I think we'd take that. I think we'd take that style of graphics. So again, ironically, undoing the argument of graphics when Madden looks slick as fuck. But that's the bit that I would take. For what I'd take from Madden is not the presentation. I would take the playbook, and that's what I would do for the set piece creator. I would take the playbook from Madden and I'd put that into Football Manager if it's possible. If I'm going to take one thing from one game and put it into something else, that's what I'd do. But then, of course, the second you get a set piece creator, everyone then goes, oh, you know, I found the perfect set piece. And then, of course, you've broken set pieces. And people then complain, oh, you know, far side runs are overpowered. Like, come on, you can't work out every single possibility of what a set piece is, you know? So, you can't please everybody. Do you know what I mean? That's what you've got to look at. Good, you choose offensive, defensive players, watch the AI take over. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Or even just pick one, Dave. Literally just have one. Right, your job is the defensive coach. Your job is the special teams coach. There's a game. There's a game. But, you know, again, looking at the draft system, like how do you look for your recruits via college football? That's a game. I'd play that. I'd stream that. It would be dreadful graphics, but I'd fucking love it. I would love it. Best NFL game ever was on the Amstrad PCW. Next to no graphics, plenty of management and stats output. Yeah. Give me all that. Perfect. Remember what it was called? Eastside Hockey Manager. Yeah, I never played that, Celestin. The reason I never played it is I was using a Mac. You couldn't actually use it on a Mac, unfortunately. It was a PC game only, so I've never played Eastside Hockey Manager. I'd be interested to see how it played. Did I play Sensible Soccer back in the day? You better believe I did 8-15. Again, awful graphics, but my word, that played really well. That played well. Again, we're from a generation that didn't need graphics. Like I say, Tetris for me. Tetris, one of the greatest games of all time. I could go back right now and turn on a Game Boy and play Tetris, and I wouldn't be sat going, the graphics are rubbish. I'd be sat going, fucking squares. I'd be in my element. Like, the boys, like my kids are like 4 and 3. They've got little iPads, like those little Amazon Fire things. And they've downloaded Sonic the Hedgehog, the original Sonic the Hedgehog. And they're not fussed about the graphics. And I'm sitting watching it going, this is class. Like, it's the full Sonic the Hedgehog game, essentially. The same graphics as what I had when I was a kid. And I love it. We bought one of those little SNES, mini SNESes, and the mini NES. Great. Graphics are still exactly the same. Love it. It's the game that's the thing. It's the game that's what, You remember that. That's what you keep coming back to. I remember thinking that FIFA 99 was peak graphics, couldn't get any better. I remember Super Mario 3 and thinking, this is where we're at. Or Donkey Kong Country, thinking, oh, what have we got here? And then all of a sudden, that's like, oh, there's more. You know? Dean popping out to see if the kids were okay for 10 minutes and load the dishwasher, and the debate is still going on. It's going to be there all day. Mr. Rymo, I'd play that all day. Yes, you would. Absolutely would. We'd play the NFL Manager. GoldenEye was peak graphics. Oh, exactly. And now look at it. I know it's just come back on the Switch. And again, they've not updated the graphics, which is perfect. But look at the graphics. Yes, the graphics were crap. But still brilliant. WWE No Mercy was perfect on the N64. But again, looking at it now, it would look awful. But you know what? It played fantastic. Played brilliant. You say graphics, look at the screen with all the match engine analysis and the pause play there. It's a beaut. Yes, it's a skin. Exactly, Ding. Like, you know, even the animations, like, and I think that's part of it is the understanding of the terminology, like the graphics. Like, do we mean what we see right now? Do we mean the animations? Do we mean, I don't know, do we mean the motion capturing? It's such a broad catch-all term. It doesn't really mean anything, and I think that once we narrow it down, like, I mean, the animations of the fans, like, you know, that's much different to what we've had over the past few years. But as I say, if you start making the stadiums better, do you then have to start looking at the fans going, oh, they're not really as good as I thought they'd be? Like, we've made the players look better, but now do we have to try and animate 70,000 fans and make them look realistic? Oh, that's really that's a lot. That's a lot of things to do. Player animations are never going to match every single human motion. Exactly. Nothing's ever going to match anything because it's a video game. Like, look at Grand Theft Auto or something. That looks brilliant, but how many times have you seen people stumble as they walk on a game that looks beautiful? Red Dead. Again, Dave Good just said there, Red Dead. Think, oh, it's amazing. It is amazing. It is amazing. For a video game. You know, video games are always going to be behind real life. You've then got the issue of going, like, I look at HD, I look at 8K, and think, that's clearer than I can see in real life. What? Am I now? Like, is my eyes not as good as what's actually on the telly? Yeah. Celeste played FIFA 2000, aged 8. My dad's Rothmans in hand. I edited all the teams and plays the Nationwide Division 2. So I could play as Bristol City against Port Vale, Chesterfield, etc. All fun and games until you tried playing an international match and you found that Tommy Mooney was up front for Cameroon. I remember that. I remember that. Oh, jeez. I hadn't even thought about that for years. But yes. Yes, that was definitely a thing. Outstanding. GG's for that, by the way. That's a hell of a reference right there. Played Eastside Hockey Manager and its successors. They're all tied up with the NHL financial system of UFA, RFA, and the sort of FAs I don't understand. But I think it's... But again, without playing Eastside Hockey Manager, I presume it's very heavy on the stats side of stuff. Like, it's... I remember I joked on in my stand-up show, this is spreadsheet manager. You know, this isn't graphics manager, this is spreadsheet manager. You know, I don't know whether, as I say, not sure if graphics would make our stream better. You know, could be wrong. I'll say the graphic of the games I played in the Amiga 500 and Amiga 1500 and Commodore 64 were good for their time, but I don't want to go back to those old days. Yeah, it's a fair point. Where's the legend Matt Doherty in your save? Oh, there's a good shout. Moving ever so swiftly off. I've dropped the Soul Plays based pure on how mistakes they've looked in the match engine. I don't think an upgraded graphics would really fix that. That's a good point. Bad. Matt Doherty appears to be retired. Oh dear. Oh dear. It's football manager admin. Exactly, it's football manager admin. We could have better graphics on the desserts. On the desserts, possibly, yes. Yes, but there has been questions about what I had for me tea. I had Korean beef with stir-fry vegetables and a bit of rice. It was lovely. It was really nice. I haven't even had a dessert. I made a birthday cake. I don't know if you've seen that. I put it on the Discord yesterday. Made a birthday cake. It was fucking lovely. I'm not much of a baker, but it was really, really good. Really good. Ropper's back. Hello, Ropper. Welcome back in. Of course, with that sub as well. 16 months now. Hope you're well, pal. Pleasure to see you back in. Hope life's treating you well. It did look good. It was, you know what, really, really nice. Really moist as well. And as I say, I'm not much of a baker, but yeah, Mrs. J did the ganache, by the way, because that's her field. I'm not a ganache maker or buttercream maker. But yeah, it was definitely a thing. Bad mince pie and chips for me from the chippy. Oh, love it. Love it, A15. Love it. Couldn't get more Aberdonian if you tried. Unless you have a couple of butteries on there. Like a bad Christmas mince pie. I'm not going to lie, Bado. That was where my brain went first of all. Then I reread it and I went, yeah, it makes more sense actually, yeah. Just have like a mince and onion pie. But a bad Christmas pie. Now we're talking. DJ Pedro wins the European Player of the Month. Get in. Yes, DJ Pedro. Man's loving it out there. 27 years old. DJ's still there. Well, he's at Banbridge, Ropper, and we've obviously, so you've probably missed quite a bit. We've left Banbridge. Actually, now's probably a decent time to show you where we're at with progress. For people who are brand new to the stream, this is where we are, right? So the plan is to win everything, win England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Okay, now anything that's in green is what we've currently won, and anything in yellow is what we're currently competing for, right? So we've won the Northern Irish Premiership. We've qualified. We got promoted from the Northern Irish Third Division. We won the Antrim Shield. We won the McCombs Coach Travel Intermediate Cup. And we have also won the Middlester Cup as well. We've won the FA Trophy, the Vanarama National League, and Sky Bet League 2. So we're now in, of course, League 1, and we can compete for the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and the Papa John's. Robert straight there going, you've been safe scumming. No, mate, we've done all this proper. We've been watching it on stream and everything. It's been weird. It's weird. Shouldn't you read out the Carabao Cup? Oh, shit, yeah, of course. Sorry, lads. Yeah, good point. I think we didn't spot that I'd left that one on yellow there. So, yes, good idea. Let's just do that quickly. Right. Good spot. You guys will keep me right, won't you? Let's just sort that one out now. There you go. The Carabao Cup is now read out. Welcome in, Raw, Josh. There's only one Tony Jameson walking along singing a song, Walking in Jameson Wonderland. That's correct. Absolutely. Hope you're well, buddy. Hope life is good. I think we are just about on schedule, Ropper. 8 trophies in, and then we are, 10 seasons in. Yeah, it's about like almost one a season. It's pretty good. We tend to double up as well as much as we can, so that sort of helps us out. But we'll start ticking them off as we get through. We'll get there. Dean, give us a quick tour of your left side menu. Tactics, Data Hub, Squad Planner. So Data Hub is not fully set up actually, because I forgot to redo it when the season came back through. But I'll show you what I do for Data Hub, and you can have a quick little look at it. because it's a bit that I like. We've not fully embraced this season because I'm just sort of letting the team do what they do because they're winning. Right, let's clear this out for now. Right. So what we've got is this is what we tend to look for, right? So we want the XG match there. We want the match momentum. What I'd like. This is my request for next year, and I'll put this in the suggestions in the SI forum. I would like this to stay when you go into next season, to not have to click it back through again and constantly have to keep re-adding it. I'd like it to just stay as it is. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but yeah, that's what I'd like. So pull all this out. You can see where we're at with our performances. As possession is down here. Possession's there. Passing. Movement. Crossing. Attacking efficiency. Scoring. And then the XG table as well. Right, so that's how the team looks. That's how we're playing, right? So this is our sort of pass map. In fact, you know what? I'm also going to put the pass map comparison. That's another one I like as well. And let's move that there. Right, so this is what we look like against opposition. So finish that. This is how the team looks when we play. So I like to sort of see that to work out how the tactic works, Dean. So that's what we've got going on. Because look, we go for our overloads, we play through the middle, and just kind of keep things moving. It's nice to sort of compare how we get on against the opposition as well, because realistically, we're pretty good at moving the ball around. As you can see here, attacking wise, we're playing way above our expectations. Some of this, of course, is slightly wrong though, because I would say just because we're fewer tackles and poor tackling doesn't necessarily mean we're in a bad spot. It means we're actually looking to block and intercept more, which is kind of what I want, rather than throwing ourselves in for tackles. I'm very much of the mindset of if you make a tackle, you've already made a mistake. That's what Paolo Maldini used to say, and I live by that, to be honest. So I'm not fussed about tackles. Blocks and interceptions I'd rather players worked on. And then we've got strong, fewer headers, but strong headers. So again, get that ball in the air when we can. We've got big, tall players, good jumping ability. Get those won. Infrequently winning the ball, reliable in possession. I disagree with that. It looks like we turn the ball over quite handy. Maybe this would suggest otherwise, but I think we turn the ball over quite a lot. Lots of passes, really accurate, good dribbling, high scoring, high XG, aggressive shooting, lots of crosses and accurate crosses. We are currently one goal under our expected goals, 3 points over our expected points, by the way. And yeah, we're expected to be first, but we're currently in second. Oh, boo hoo hoo! What a dip. We're not even meant to be this far up the league. This, of course, is how we played last match. Lots of yellow. You know what I mean? Lots of yellow indeed. Because we can play pretty decent. Tactics-wise, we've sort of had this for a couple of seasons. It's a 4-4-1-1, 4-4-2, maybe? I guess depends on how you look at it. Paley as a shallow striker can move here, there. Gets forward, plays in behind Aguero. We've got as a poacher who sort of looks to spearhead the attacks. You're infrequent in the ball because you have the ball that often. That's a good point, actually. That is a good point. We do get that with a possession-heavy tactic. So our back four is fairly solid. Chimaju is on the full-back on attack. That's mainly for Blakey because he's a left wing-back, really. So I like him to get up and beyond. He's got really, really good crossing. So I want him to get up towards the byline and get those crosses in. Webb comes inside to allow that to happen. So he essentially goes there in attack. We're looking at that, really. And that's sort of how that left side overload plays out. So we might have to change that slightly while Blakey's injured because we don't really have anyone who can get up and about to do that sort of thing, you know? Certainly not as effective because what we had, where's he gone? We had our Estonian defender, Granham, who is a fullback, really. In fact, can't even recall him back either, so he's out there. Might need a left back possibly to come in and cover, and then go wing back on defend. Here, double pivot in the midfield, defensive midfield and a volante. They seem to work very nicely in this current game. And then Rogi just does bits out on the wing. We play short passing. We like to work the ball in the box. Play a high defensive line, but we drop off. So we start high, but we always can sort of step back a little bit if needs be. It's indeed Yorkshire's Alfie Gilchrist. 100%. We will look to press, and we'll just play the ball relatively short, to be honest. Keep the tempo low, dictate the play, to be honest. That's our standard movements. We can then push up if needs be into a 4-2-4. If we're looking to get some more attacking movement, we can speed things up a little bit. We can change from balance to positive, start moving the ball a bit quicker. I know it says lower tempo there, but we'll move it quicker. We'll start playing slightly more direct, get that ball in and around. So we see the fullback changes to a complete wing back at this point. Everyone moves up into those sort of higher areas, and then if we want to lock the game out, we then look to lower our defensive line into at least a mid-block, possibly even lower down if needs be. Shorter passing, cautious mentality, and then we go into this 5-man midfield. So notice the same players are all able to play in those 3 formations. So that's the really important bit. Versatility of players, understand the same instructions. So Paley can drop into a central midfield if needs be. Paley can play as a poacher if needs be. So that's sort of what we look for. A bit of versatility with the players around us to sort of say, look, you might have to change shape, you might have to sit, you might have to push on, and just see where we go with that. So that's how it looks, Dean. Does that make sense? Are we happy with that? That looks good for me. That looks good. And the fact that I'm now officially Tony Tactics means that I'm allowed to talk officially about those sorts of things, and with clarity and with eloquence. So there you go. Tony Tactics in the house. A tactical masterclass, says Cellist. Exactly. I mean, I do try. We're getting there slowly. Slowly but surely. Right, let's have a little look. We got a couple of players who are starting to tire a little bit as well, so we have to do a little bit of we need a Tony Tactics emote. That's a good shout, actually, Rich. I'll have a little look at that. We'll do a Tony Tactics. That's cool. I like it. I like it a lot. And again, remember as well, if you're brand new, remember, ignore the stars. The stars don't always mean something. Like, you can, just because it doesn't say a player can play there straight away, doesn't mean that they can't play there. It means that you might be thinking about something that they've not thought about before. Tony James in the coach's voice. Could you imagine? Could you imagine that? The episode of me going, well, it starts out as a 4-4-2, right? And what I do is sometimes I kick it long, but then sometimes I just make sure everyone sits back and goes, don't go anywhere. What I like a big lad, and I need a little lad up top, right? That's how I do it. The stars are a guideline. Exactly, Rada. Exactly. But again, you know, if you were to think about this in an attributeless way, so say for example you were doing those sort of Moneyball style saves when you take all the attributes off, you would never know. So again, it's a bit of a guideline, but you just sort of feel it out and think, what would possibly work? You know, that's basically the Dice one. The Dice one's quite interesting though, isn't it? Like when he talks about how he moves around the pitch. I quite liked it. Dice is nowhere near as ignorant as I think the media would like to portray him to be. Because of course you're not going to be. Like, if you're managing in the elite levels, you're not going to be an idiot. Yeah. Tony's the modern day Peter Reid. 100%. Dice is definitely not a dinosaur. He's 100. Yeah, agree. He plays that up as his thing. Look, my thing is, oh look, we lose around here. Here I am with, 8 trophies in 10 seasons. I'm number 10 in the draft in the FM rankings. Like, I think I know what I'm doing, but I can certainly make it play like I don't know. Some of it's for entertainment purpose, right? I mean, if Dice was a dinosaur, he wouldn't have had more than 10 games. Yeah, exactly. You get found out pretty quickly if you don't know what you're doing. You look at your Allardyce as well. He was the guy who pretty much invented sports science. Like, he was the first person to start doing it. He brought it over from the thing that they had, Tampa Bay Rowdies. But then apparently he's just Big Sam. What does he know? He plays on exercise bikes on in the dugout to keep players warm before they came on. That was unheard of at the time. Steve Bruce is the exception. And there's a lot of people in every single walk of life who get by just because they've done the job before. It's Steve Bruce. Steve Bruce is dining out on the fact that he was a title winner many, many times with Manchester United. That holds sway. Like players, managers and that will look at that. Yeah, eventually it'll come good. And again, his CV is not bad, really, when you think about it. He's managed to do okay. It's getting worse now, granted, but it's still not the worst CV in the world. I'm sure if he thing is though is that managers have glass ceilings in the same way that players do, right? There are managers who can manage in the lowest leagues, right? I don't think Guardiola could manage in the National League, right? But he can manage in the elite level because that's how he understands football. That's how his brain works. I don't think Steve Bruce is your manager who's going to be managing in the Champions League and competing as Real Madrid manager. Of course not. But he clearly knows something. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you don't just get given a job just because it would be funny. Like, football clubs aren't going to risk employing someone just because it's, you know what? It'd be really funny to employ Steve Bruce. Like, no. Great interview on the BBC with Mark Hughes about managers should be looking to step down to manage like Bradford. 100%. I think that any manager who steps down is braver than any manager who just insists on going for the same jobs. Like, Hughes has got everything to lose by going to Bradford, but also he's got everything to gain. He's rebuilding his reputation. Like, no one's touching him in the top division because he didn't get, he's not won anything for a while. But what are you going to win? Like, no one really wins in football. There's only 4 teams win anything ever. So you're up against that as well. I don't know. I'm just a bit... There's a lot of disenfranchisement with me in football at the minute. And I think people just need to... Overall, the wider football family just need to sort of like have a think about it and see where the game goes from here. And I think people have just been given stuff that they just sort of like go, yeah, that's the answer. Like, people have been made characters of, and it's difficult to change those sorts of like perceptions, I suppose, really. And we live in a media age now as well, where people's images are basically designed in front of our very eyes. Like, look at Roy Hodgson. Roy Hodgson, a brilliant manager, absolutely fantastic manager, incredible career, one of the most articulate football men that you'll ever meet. What does anybody know about him? Oh, he calls himself Roy. Like, oh, fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, don't just go for the basic shit, like, denominator of it all. Like, again, I've said before, like, this whole thing with Villa's really annoyed me as well. Like, there I was thinking, all right, I might just about get back into Villa, and then Unai Emery sort of like turns up and it's like, oh, that's a fucking good appointment for Villa. That really, really good appointment. And then I turned it on stream to talk about it on the night. And all I heard was people going like, good evening. And I'm like, he's fucking Spanish. Like, piss off. Come on. Not having it. Not having it. Like, no. It's rubbish. Have better banter. Well, I don't know. Hodgson's season was so bad to watch. But are you a Liverpool fan, I presume, Woolrich? But I mean, look, he's managed Inter Milan. He managed the Swiss national team. He managed Liverpool. about Palace. Oh, was it that bad? And what was it his fault? I don't know what else was around at this point. I must admit I didn't watch a lot of Palace, so I can't comment upon it. But I don't know. I think people are too quick to judge. No goals. Who did he have up front? Who was his supply line? Is it a players thing, or is it his tactics? Because if he's got bad players, they're not going to score goals either. You know, if you're sort of like expecting Christian Benteke to score goals with no confidence, that's not a Roy Hodgson thing, is it? Don't know if you're here, friendly ghost, but I've just seen a gifted sub. Appreciate that. No, that's good, isn't it? The language used by Rodgson was similar to how Moyes and Potter used at Chelsea. I was under pressure from the board not to get relegated. I suppose it was that. He went safety first, kept them up. Yeah. Exactly. We never see the full thing, do we? I'm not 100% on what A15. What do you mean A15 is? How's Moyes and Potter talking? Are they trying? Is it job preservation? Is that what you mean? Transitioning from managing a smaller team to managing a massive team. I don't think Roy Hodgson would be in that situation, would he? I think he'd very much see, with all due respect, Palace would be one of the smaller teams he's managed, I think. Again, if you were to line out what's the most famous team out of Palace and Inter Milan, Palace is definitely the smaller side, right? Got Fulham to a European Cup final. Doesn't fit the narrative, though, Leclosian. Doesn't fit the narrative. Hodgson did okay at Palace. It's expectations, isn't it? That's the thing. Like, what is the expectation? What do we think is okay? What do the fans then think is okay? Like, looking at the sort of, if you localize it more, like, I'm not a Palace fan. I was just saying it was a local to where I live. All the managers I saw there is football, at least entertaining to watch. What I saw, I'm not criticising. Yeah. Oh no, I'm not taking anything personally at all, Rich. We're just just discussing. We're having a good football chat tonight, which is pretty good. It's very rare I can actually talk about real football because I tend not to bother with it. JJ Wilbur, appreciate the follow. Very kind. Thank you for that. Just as Moyes Sports, he was still at Everton manager, Potter's still at Brighton. Yeah, I mean, look, again, you don't tread the path that Moyes and Potter have done and not be given a bit of time. Like, they've put the hours in. Like, Graham Potter's gone from tier 8, I think, maybe? Is he on from tier 8? I don't think there's not another manager in the Premier League who managed in tier 8, surely. So I think he's due a bit of respect. Like, has he been given the Chelsea manager's job? Yeah. Should he have taken the Chelsea manager's job? Probably not. But, you've got to be, did he jump from a very secure job at Brighton to Chelsea? Yeah, but most people would take the opportunity given the chance. I think if someone offered you the Chelsea job and you were a Brighton manager, you'd be going, you know what, yeah, maybe that's a good shout. I'll take that opportunity. Away you go. Because you don't know when that opportunity is going to come next. You back yourself to succeed, right? It doesn't always work out. Of course it doesn't, but you at least back yourself to try. And I think it's when you get there and you realise that things are very, very different to what you expect, then you sort of go, well, let's see how long it takes before we can get this one worked out. Matty Hayes, welcome in. Appreciate that. Welcome in. Nice to see you. Most people take the Bristol City job if they're Oxford. Exactly, Cellist. Exactly. Most people would back themselves for a bigger job. I didn't do that. I stuck to my guns. I stuck to my guns in the smaller side. And look at the criticism I got for it, for not taking that risk. So people would have criticised. People would then criticise someone like Graham Potter for staying at Brighton and going, doesn't believe in himself, doesn't think he can manage at the top level. What's he holding out for? He's not going to get the Arsenal job. He's not going to get the Man U job. He's not going to get the Liverpool job. And all of a sudden, you then create this mystique that Graham Potter's a bad manager. That's what happens. People did exactly the same with Gareth Southgate. And again, I'm not an England fan. As you all know, I'm a Scotland fan. So I've got, again, no vested interest in that whatsoever. But what's But what else is there? Who else is going to do that job? What else is Southgate going to do? Southgate has got you to finals and semi-finals and that. So he's not a bad manager, is he? He knows what he's doing. But again, the idea is, he's not doing it the way we want. Interesting. Does that make Jones a bad manager for taking the Southampton job? Sometimes managers just don't fit. Sometimes things just don't work out. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that they're a bad manager. It just means it's a bad fit. I don't know enough about Nathan Jones to say whether he is a bad manager or not, but I think he might look at that Southampton job in a bit of time and go, yeah, it didn't quite work out, did it? You know? It didn't work out, but hey-ho. His job now is to go and get another job and prove everyone wrong. That's what he's got to do. Doesn't make him a bad manager. It just means that Southampton was the wrong job at the wrong time for him. Conversation around Klopp at the moment is amazing. No decent amount of Liverpool fans who want him gone. But again, it's that short-termism, isn't it? It's a club that wants success and doesn't understand that how they get that success. Like, yes, you deserve a bit of time and a bit of, a chance to put it right. But if you were to argue, is Klopp showing any indication that he's trying to change it or trying to put it right? I don't know. I'm not a Liverpool fan, so I wouldn't like to comment. That there will be a business decision at some point. So FSG will have to look at it and go, well, does it make financial sense to keep him? He's got a lot of credit in the bank, I'm sure. He's got a lot of credit in the bank. He's going nowhere. He'll go on his terms. But there will be a point. There will be a point that FSG will have to look at it and go, maybe we need to think about this. Maybe we need to think about this. At what point that is, I don't know. But not every manager is untouchable. That's the thing. Arsenal looked at it with Wenger. Do you know what I mean? Like, they were looking at it with Wenger, and it's like, this is Arsene Wenger. You can't sack Arsene Wenger. But there's conversations happening going, how long do we leave it here? Because it ain't going the way it's supposed to go. That's the problem. Football, this is business again. At the end of the day, we go back to, it's not football anymore, it's business now. And these are business people looking at business decisions. Football clubs that are floating on the stock market and the stock exchange, which is costing them money. And that's when they're going, do we keep him? Do we move him on? Do we try and get better for our investment? That's where it is. And you're right, Dan, yeah, they probably did sack him technically, but you shouldn't be sacking someone like Arsene Wenger, I think he's I think he's earned enough respect in the game, but no, wasn't working out. And Dormley said there's a big head who's got to leave here, and that's me. Yeah, like he will go. Klopp will leave. When he leaves, he'll leave. But whether it's FSG's choice or whether it's Klopp's choice, don't know. Respectfully disagree. Again, yeah, that's completely fine, Dan. You're an Arsenal fan, so again, you're closer to the situation than I am. I think from me as a wider football fan, I think that I just find it, for what Wenger did for the Premier League, I don't know whether that's a decision I would ever be looking at. But again, I think Wenger could have gone a long time before he did. There's a little bit of stubbornness there going, I'm staying because I'm Arsene Wenger and I am untouchable. So there's a bit of back and forth on that one. Mrs. J's turned up. Here we go. Right. We've been back and forth on this. Let's give away some prizes, actually. Let's do that instead. So if you remember during the 12-hour stream on, what was it? When was it? Last week, last Sunday. There's a guru saved. We gave away a surprise shirt to everyone who'd subbed before Sunday, which was lovely. And then what we said was, during that stream, anyone who subs during that stream gets entered into a draw to win a shirt again. So Mrs. J has now tallied up all the entrants, and there was a lot of entrants, so thank you very much for everyone who did that, you wonderful group of people. And Mrs. J now has the spinning wheel So go for it, Mrs. J. Let us know who wins a surprise shirt and I'll get it ordered for them. I want to win, and the surprise shirt will be a small Sunderland kid. Surprise. It smells of Tony, is that right? Mrs. J can't find her book. For fuck's sake, Mrs. J. Literally rocks up. Hi, I'm here. Who wants this? Like, yeah. Right. Oh, I haven't brought the things with me yet. So yeah, I'm going to be able to find out. Massively appreciate everyone, by the way, who subbed on Sunday. That was stupid. Absolutely stupid. Ropper, you missed it, by the way. If Ropper's still in the chat, you missed it. We've agreed to start a football club. Stupidity. Great save. Oh. Glatzer scored. He's offside. Yes, we need you, actually, because you know how to run a football club. So you're absolutely going to be involved. He didn't want to leave when David Dean left, but Dean came in some mistake. Got you. Yeah, I need to have a little look at... there will be a Wenger autobiography somewhere that I need to have a look for, don't I? So, right, Mrs. J is spinning the wheel, I think. Just waiting to find out if she's back in with her book. So Mrs. J will spin the wheel and then she'll tell us who has won that shirt. Right, that's just... Okay. 0-0 against Carlisle. We should have won that, actually, but never mind. And look at Carlisle, 23rd. We've not got a win there. 3 points behind Bournemouth, and we played a game more. Lindt out for 8 days. I think I need to get Wenger's book. I think have a little read of that. That should be quite interesting. A bit of concern with Aguero. Probably needs a bit of a rest. Had a book with all the names in it, and a Tiny Jameson's moved it. Is it the one that was slightly under the sofa, Mrs. J? Is it that? Loving Tiny Jameson. Tiny Jameson is a fucking terror. Absolute terror. Love him. He's a madhead, but he's a terror. Obviously, eldest Jameson is currently battling along with chickenpox, so it's not a lot of fun. Not a lot of fun right now in the Jameson household. It's been a long 3 weeks. It's been a very, very long 3 weeks. Cardinal Chunder has cashed in a little while ago. Cashed in the Guide the Raid. Got a letter published in Shoot magazine defending Hodgson when Blackburn sacked him. Nice. Shoot magazine. There's a blast from the past. Loving it. Missed Sunday. My sister got married. Couldn't exactly miss this. Ali, welcome in. Of course. You were excused for missing Sunday then for that. So, your sister's got married. You could have had it on your phone, but you know it's fine. Don't worry. We understand. You know that is a thing. You get told off for it if you're there in the ceremony. God, really sorry, but I'm listening to James and he's doing some daftness. There you go. Look, see, yeah, under the sofa, and I figured that's where it would go. Does this suggest that I actually know that this is what this is the sort of thing he'd do? Fresno thinks he should be starting games. He does start games. He's been injured. I'd rather not be the latest player. Take your word, don't be let down. No. You're gonna. Fine if he wants to leave. Go. He's kicking off. Get that transfer request in. Fine. Rich, will you ever return to Sunderland and do the first season of the Premier League? I don't know. You know. That was such a great stream, wasn't it? That team we've built. It looked good. If the demand's there, we'll do it. When does Sunderland season 3 drop? I need to get that edited as well, don't I? I need to get the British Steel season 3 edited as well, Rob. I need more time. Sorry, no. Let me rephrase that. I need to use my time more constructively. That's the correct way of looking at it. That's what I always used to tell kids when I was a teacher. Sorry, going, oh, We need more time. We need more time. Like, no, you need to use your time more constructively. And that's where I think we are at this point. I need to use my time more constructively. You need an editor, Gaffer. We do. But they cost big bucks though, Raggio. Now, there's a reason I've clicked on this, okay? Reason I've clicked on this. Time management 1. Exactly. You only got 96 points, if I remember correctly. In real life, we got 105. I got 114. I mean, yeah. All right, we weren't doing the best then in that sense. There's a reason I've clicked on here. Okay. Tony, do you think Wenger's book is better than Michael Owen's? I would expect so. I would expect it to be so much better than Michael Owen's. I'm not really looking at moving. Okay. Interesting that Sunderland got rid of the daft manager that they hired to take over. He's gone now. All I'm saying, he's gone. Manager's gone, right? Sunderland jobs available already, and they are currently sat 21st in the Championship, right? What's also interesting is the QPR job is available, and they're top of the Championship. So, what? QPR job was managed by John Russell, who's left to take over Burnley. Okay? Paul Robinson, not from Neighbours, but the one from Wimbledon, is currently caretaker manager. What tactic did they play? Playing a 4-3-3 at QPR. QPR is an interesting one, isn't it? Sunderland are currently playing a 4-2-3-1. It's not working, let's be honest. They've just had a new chairman as well. You'd fit that into your tactic. We would. "131 days he was there and then sacked." You want to skip a level and jump to this Premier League? No. It'll be a Championship. Sunderland got relegated in the Championship, and QPR are in the Championship as well. Skipping the challenge, would be going to Manchester United, who are currently 18th in the Premier League. After 12 games, they're in the relegation zone. That would be skipping it. That would be skipping quite a bit. What happened there? Christophe Galtier sacked. Ruud van Nistelrooy was manager for a year. Zidane was manager for a year. Dai Yongge is the ex-Reading owner at Sunderland. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? That's interesting. What do we think? Are we on to a good thing at Oxford? It's a bad thing. All right, okay, fair enough. Then we avoid Sunderland then. Mrs. J, where are you at with this football shirt thing? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for Walsall. Yeah. Are we on for promotion? We are. That's what's really interesting. Like it's always because I saw the news item saying that the manager had been sacked, and I was like, "Ooh, that's interesting." I still think we push for this. I still think that we go, but I just found it interesting. I did find it interesting. Can we have a line from Michael Owen's book? Yeah. Stick a. If you got the channel points, bung the channel points on it, and we'll do a read. We'll do a line from Michael Owen's book. I need a line between I need a number between 1 and 331. We'll do that, and then we'll do the draw. If you're sitting 18th, then we'd have to go for QPR. Yeah, but right now, 329. Right towards the end, Rada. You want the end spoiled at this point. Okay, here we go. Right, let's go full screen. I can only imagine what the country must be going through when the England players gather round to swig drinks and discuss who's going to take the penalties. People probably think the order is decided beforehand and pinned on the dressing room wall, but the manager has no way of knowing who will be on the pitch by the end of the 120 minutes. So there is always... Actually, no, we've read this bit. We've read this one before. We've read this page. Right, give me another one. Give me another page. This is about him missing a penalty. I have to read a new page. Has anyone got a formation and tactic that's constantly working for them? No formation or tactic ever constantly works. Ever constantly works. Rich, that ends with, we lost the penalty shootout 6-5. I was down, really down. It's all over. Another chance gone. You can hear the Portuguese players and their crowd singing. Silence and sorrow. So, yeah. Give the ball to me. I know I'm going to score. It's all the nonsense he comes out with. 229. Here we go. People ask me later which shirt I would have wanted. Some of my colleagues are obsessive about collecting big shirts from opponents. Some even make sure they're marking the player they want in the last 5 minutes so they can ask him for his top. I normally just swap with the centre half or whoever's been marking me. Any decent shirt I get, I give away because they mean more to my friends than they would mean to me. After the quarter-final, for instance, I swapped with Rivaldo and gave that shirt to a mate who was just chuffed to bits. Wonderful though it is, Rivaldo's Brazil top would have just sat in my wardrobe doing nothing. Excellent. It's so shit. So shit. Right, Mrs. J, it's time for the draw. Do us a drum roll and let us know who has won the surprise shirt, shall we? We could always apply for QPR, see if the standard team would give you a shot. Doesn't mean you've got to go. But remember, though, we did that with Bristol. We had a little look and had a shot at it, and then I got told that I should have left. So we'll need to have a little think about this. Don't upset the chairman. We did sign a contract, didn't we? Did we have any promises? We haven't promised to leave. So there is that. We've got a winner. Right, Mrs. J, let us know who the winner is. Quality of our stream is amazing. You get a bit of everything. We do, don't we? Raggio's won. Yes. Love that. Absolutely love that. That's superb. Get in. Congratulations, Raggio. We'll get you a shirt pinged over. Very happy with that, to be honest. Got all of the distant pod lads taking the piss out of him by naming their movie club after him. Oh, the Michael Owen thing. Oh yeah. I've not actually listened to that. I need to catch up on it. So I'll keep my eye out for that. Raggio, I never win a thing. Hey, there you go. You've won your first thing. You've won your first thing right there. So congratulations to Raggio. I'll get all your deals from you on Discord, Raggio, and then we can send that across to you. So there you go. Awesome. Aguero needs a rest, but we're playing posh, so we've got to put our best team out, I think. FA Cup. We're not going to win the FA Cup, so we could technically look to tank this match if we wanted. Wouldn't be the worst decision. But let's just try it anyway. See what happens. I'm tempted to Stick Fresno in actually in cup time. That should do it. New job and studying, not much FM these days. Need to get on it. Get back on it, Roper. Well. Oh, look at that. Yeah, Mr. J, we've got actual proof that Rajo's won it as well. Should we do a second prize? Some kind of desserts of some kind? Yeah. Let's do another one, Mrs. J. Let's do another little wheel. We might send a dessert out to the UK only. At this point, I don't know if we can send desserts internationally, so that could be a bit of a concern. So let's see if that's the thing. Why the devil not? We had a good stream, so it seems nice to reward the support, I think, to be honest. So starting a football club, someone said, what's happening and when do we start tomorrow? Right, so basically what happened, Roper, was we had these sub goals throughout the stream, right, to sort of celebrate 2 years on Twitch, and I thought, like, let's put some daft things in there that no one's going to do. We're not going to get to this sort of level, so we've ended up sponsoring a couple of players from Durham, with like a little local football club where I'm from. They've had a bit of an issue with their owner. They've now got rid of the owner and they've managed to get a new owner in, and they're sort of starting from scratch again, really. So there's a couple of players that needed sponsorship between now and the end of the season, so we've done that, right? That was great. So in the matchday programme, those 2 players are sponsored by Tony Jameson FM, which is pretty incredible, to be honest. Caffeine wins some desserts. Caffeine's in America, so I don't know how we're going to send that over there, but we'll sort something out we'll get them something. So we've got two players that are sponsored by TJFM now. And then I said, look, if we get 100 subs on stream, right, then I'll start to look to start a football club. Because, you know what I'm like. Send him a voucher. That's a good shout, actually, Roach. We'll send him a voucher. We'll get that done. That's a good idea. Very, very good idea. Well done. So, right, let's think about starting a football club, right? Because I complain all the time that football's horrible. I might as well start my own thing, and it's going to be good and it's going to be pure. So, I said it out loud, didn't I? And what you know from this group of people, Roper, is that if I say something stupid, they'll make it happen. So we broke the 100 subs barrier, which meant that I now have to consider starting a football club. So conversations are going to have to start happening, and yeah, TJFC is going to hopefully be a thing. So we'll try and work out how we do it and what happens, and we'll go from there. But if it doesn't work, then at least we tried. If it does work, oh shit, got a football club to run, but that'll be fun. So yeah, it'll be all right, be good. So it should be exciting, at the very least, you know. Sending some Angel Delight in a standard envelope. Perkins with the goal, pulls us back level. I don't know if you can send Angel Delight in the post internationally. Maybe. Amazing, how can I miss this? It's just the sort of stupid stuff we get involved in, Roper. You know how it is. You know, you've been part of stupidity before. You know, the shirt's still very much hung up in the background, so you know all about stupid, you know. That's the thing right there. So, yeah, let's create more stupid. Might arouse US Customs interest. Smells of butterscotch. That's the one you'd send, by the way, butterscotch. Watching the VOD tonight after the stream, I'm jacked up on Red Bull, mate. 12 hours. 12 hours you've got for that. I won't spoil the ending for you, but the last hour is just carnage. Absolute carnage. It's every bit of TJFM rolled into one in that final hour. There's sadness, there's ecstasy, there's emotion, heartstrings, panic, fear, everything. Unfortunately, I haven't got the soundtrack. There was also a scooter, which is Euro techno hardcore, playing Pop Molly on stream. Well, we were close. We were close. It's the emotion ecstasy means, not the illicit substance. Of course, agreed. What did Caffeine win? I'm a supporter on that channel. He's won a dessert with Toza, or at least a voucher for some desserts that we will we'll send across to him to say thank you for being a sub. So we'll send him a message and work out how we get some stuff across to the States. Did loads of lines on Sunday? We did. Loads kept us awake, despite the fact that the lines would have sent us to sleep. I haven't read them, but 8 loads of 90 sweets as well. Drank most of a bottle of apple sours. We still got a whole bunch of 90 sweets as well. So Opal Fruits are still here. Chewits are still here. We've got Wagon Wheels are still there. There's some sherbet stuffs. Loads of bits and pieces. Voucher for Dunkin' Donuts or Tim Hortons maybe, or something. Could be a thing. Have you ever listened to a podcast called The Offensive? It's just how I imagined you running a football club. I haven't listened to it yet, Gudja, but that sounds like the sort of thing that I'd like to be involved in. So I will have a listen to that. Redeem 90s food item. Okay. Right, party rings, toffee pops. I may have been eating these already. Jawbreakers, they're not a good idea to eat right now because they're gonna, I'm just gonna be starting. Not a thing. Poppets, chocolate orange poppets. Do that. These little weirdy things, little bubblegum flavoured nonsense things, millions or whatever they're called. Don't know. What are you reckoning, Woolrich? Do you have a preference? I whether this stream's now just turned into me eating things. It's my choice. All right, okay, my choice. Right, what I'm going to do, because I think it's an odd choice from Mrs. J, is I'm going to go with no, I'm not, 'cause it's going to be horrible on my teeth. Where's the hooch? It was my birthday yesterday, wasn't it? Like, I know I'm on the wagon and that. Like, a guru scored. I think we potentially in a situation where we might be beating Posh. That calls for, if we beat Posh, that calls for a celebration, doesn't it? Hooch or no hooch, then that's the question. Time for my hit new game show. Watoza, appreciate the bits, thank you. I'll have a couple of party rings actually. The party rings on the go, look at these. There you go. Hooch for sure. Well, the thing is, Ropper, so since New Year's Eve, so basically, so since FMT Live, which was like the middle of November, early November, sorry, I went on the, I was like, I'm just going to go off the drink and just see if I can like get up till Christmas to sort of see where I go. And I was a bit like unsure about where my relationship with alcohol was at this time. I thought it was going into like a sort of place that wasn't particularly brilliant. I was like, right, can I go until Christmas without drinking? And I managed it perfectly. Easy, in fact, like fucking too easy. Far too easy, if anything. So I was really annoyed at myself as to how simple it was. Then I allowed myself a week between Christmas and New Year to have like a few drinks, have a glass of wine or whatever. New Year's Day, so New Year's Eve finished, New Year's Day straight back off it, right? Not interested again. And then, obviously for the 12-hour stream, I was like, well, we're going to have to get some like sort of incentives on there, so we're going to have to crack the hooch open after like 20 subs, and then we'll do like a shot of apple sours every time we hit 20 subs. So I was like, right, that's fine, let's do that. And then, of course, as I said, birthday yesterday. We're going to the York City game tomorrow, so may have a beer, possibly. I'm not really sure. So I kind of am in this situation of going like, well, I sort of feel as though I'm all right now. Like I don't necessarily need to have a drink or feel like I'm missing out anything. Like, so just to put it on your radars, this is still here. This is still in the room from Sunday. So we do have a tin of hula hooch at the go, and if we're gonna go for it, we can go for it. I'm all right for a bit of hooch time, to be honest, because it's not really drinking, is it? To be honest, it's kind of, this is how it starts, isn't it? This is how it starts. Me going, it's not really drinking, is it? It's only whiskey, and then here we are again, back on the fun times. Believe me, Robert, that's how my head used to be. Going, never stop, never stop. Whereas once I did, I was like, oh, this is clearer. Like, everything's a bit easier now. So yeah, I'm not, like, I'm certainly not a a sort of like bang the drum teetotaler, but I'm I'm just like, you know what, yeah, it's easy enough. That's got to go in the Discord, surely. Beaten Posh. We've beaten Sunderland in the Cups. This is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Troy Parrott at Peterborough. Yeah, absolutely. I suppose now we need to get the hooch out, don't we? I feel as though I'm going to have to sway the vote myself, because I did say if we beat Peterborough, I'll have another party ring. Just while I think about it. Still in the pizza cup, Rich. Still in the pizza cup. So happy with that. You can see where we are. So pizza cup is up next. Reading, we've already qualified, so if we lose, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, we're now into the second round of the FA Cup. Pizza Cup still in the League One playoff hunt as well. 46 game season. We've got 30 games to go. We're just about survival. We're almost at that 40-point mark, which is what we need to get ticked off. First of all, get that 40 points, and then we're fine. We'll be absolutely fine after that. So the rest of it is just whatever it is. It doesn't really matter, does it? Go and just have some fun. Have our view for next season on there, going like, oh, where do we think we're going to go after this? Go full out in the Pizza Cup, 100%. Rogie, question for the chat, because it nearly happened to me in my current FM save. Do you consider it your win if your reserves under 23s win a cup, i.e. the Pizza Cup or Scottish Challenge? Oh, ethical dilemma time, Rogie. Now, here's where I think, because Linfield under 23s won a cup when I was at Linfield. Did I take that trophy? No, I didn't take the trophy. Should I have done? If I do, then does that mean that I've actually won another cup on stream? Is a wagon wheel item a dessert? Is it a food or dessert item? I mean, I do have a bag of wagon wheels here as well, so let's have a wagon wheel while we think about that. I'm not doing the British Steel Challenge, so it doesn't matter. The under-23s have used your formation instructions. I'm not classing it as my trophy on British Steel. That's for certain. But I don't know, like, how many would there be a success? I don't know. Ethically, maybe. Morally, don't know. Interesting. I'll have my wagon wheel. I'm going to wait until I inevitably have to open this hooch. Claim every credit you can. It's a fair assessment. I think Nige did that. Rich, you're right. Yeah, take charge of the reserves to win the non-Irish Cup. I wish I'd thought of that, to be honest. Sir Tony of Jameson, how are you, my friend? Welcome into the one and only United City FM. How are you, sir? Hope you're well. Huge shout out for United City. If you're not following them, why the devil not? Also, get yourselves having a listen around Football Manager Therapy as well, because it's good. It's very, very good. We know you like it. We know you like it. Where in your head, where you think in your head and heart you're going to finish this challenge before FM24 comes out? I think we can get it done before FM24. I've set myself a target of getting it done in 50 seasons. Before 50 seasons, really. 40 would be like where I sort of like think we can do it. We're in 10 now. The game doesn't come out until November, so I reckon we've got more than enough time to get this one done. So, yeah, I'm happy enough. I'm happy. I'm very well. I'm very, very well. Thank you, United City. Very well indeed. It's a pleasure to have you in as always. And I'm very much looking forward to hopefully winning here against Reading in the Papa John's Pizza Cup. Doesn't matter if we don't though, because we evening hooch, brother. How are you, man? not seen Murph around. This is late night for Murph, you know, and he's just heard the hooch lemon has gone up in the sky, and he's went, oh, it's time for me. It's time for me. Yeah, we're trying to work out whether or not we're cracking open the hooch tonight, because as you know, I've been off it for a little bit. It's hooch o'clock. It's always hooch o'clock. Results have gone our way. Kev, we're still second in the league, to be honest, so that's pretty good. And yeah, I think we're all right. I think we're just we're not expected to do much in League One. That's the thing. So this is very much a surprise season. We've just beaten Peterborough in the FA Cup, so I sort of was like, well, if we beat Peterborough, we should really crack the hooch open. The chat has spoken. It's time to get our hula on. Okay. It's amazing. It's passion fruit hooch. So good. It's so good. Mango and passion fruit brew. What's not to love? You know what I mean? And yes, Murph's right. Get the arms up in the air. We're having a hooch time. It's hooch o'clock somewhere in the world. It was my birthday. I'm allowed to have it. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Will Jenkins with the penalty. I remember in bottles back in the 90s. Yeah, it's 4%. It's 4%, Rich. Which is 69%, says Rogie. Yeah, you can follow him on Instagram at Hooch Lemon Brew. And at Hooch Lemon Brew on Twitter as well. So we should all do that. It's Hooch o'clock, everyone. Yeah, hooch and a wagon wheel. That's what we're having. 4% alcohol, 96% sugar. Pretty much. Absolute no added flavour, of course. It's made of natural mangoes and passion fruits. We need to get that endorsement. We 100% do. We 100% do. I'll happily have the stream sponsored by Hooch. If Hooch are listening, unlikely, but if they are, or if anyone has any access to the marketing people at Hooch, I'm happy to promote that. I'm happy if they actually even end up having a non-alcoholic Hooch. Definitely I'll promote that one. That's called lemonade, isn't it, really? Based on horrible jelly beans I got stuck eating during Game Blast. Yeah, exactly. I have a Hooch. Mrs. J will be putting on a health regime soon. Better believe it. I went and did the CrossFit Open workout the other day, and that was grim. It was grim and hard. That's what she said. I'm going to do the next one this weekend as well. So heavy thrusters for the win, 13. Love it. Non-alcoholic Hooch is our White's lemonade. Probably good. Yeah, that's probably it, to be honest. It's not mango and passion fruit. That's just Bongo, which I fucking love Bongo. My personal favourite Bongo is with a splash of gin. Make it a gin bongo. Very, very tasty. Gin and Bongo. Does that make you a secret lemonade drinker? That sounds proper like, look at him. He's one of those secret lemonade drinkers. If I was to have a soft drink, and it wasn't Iron Brew, Dave, I would have a lemonade. I don't like Coke. Don't like Diet Coke. Don't like Pepsi. None of that nonsense. So I'll have a lemonade. I'll have a lime and soda, preferably. I got the reference. I didn't get the reference. What have I missed? Is it something from popular TV? Because I ain't going to see that. Ball over the top. Aguero saved. Aguero scores. I'll be sparkling water. Oh, God, no. We're not. I'm not drinking Tory water. We know that. I'm not having Tory water. Is Tango still around? I think so. In a sense. It's from the commercials of our Whites back in the day. That makes sense. I'm big fan of the R White's lemonade. From a branding perspective, absolutely. The Tango Man, now there's someone you don't see anymore. Not allowed to. Happy slapping, apparently. Lil won't be around much longer, though, being rebranded. I know. Yeah, they've rebadged it, you fool. Me and Mrs. J, when we were shopping for the stuff for the stream on Sunday, I was like saying to her, do you want a slab of lilt? You know when you got the slabs of cans. I was like, do you want a slab of lilt? She's like, no. I was like, well, you ain't gonna see it anymore, so that's your moment right there. Been and gone. Didn't buy a slab of lilt. Won't forget the time we did a gig in the sparkling water. Oh, the worst, Dan. The worst. All right, Tony, if you have any idea if tutoring is a thing on consoles, I've seen it pop up in the hints and tips on the games process and can't find it anywhere. No idea, AJ, is the short answer. Did you pop that in the Discord today? I'm sure it was yourself who popped that in Discord. Sorry, I saw it and I've been trying to get bits and pieces sorted out. I've not played the console version, so I don't know. What I will do, though, is I will put it to the people at SI, and we'll find out if that's a thing, and we'll try and get that answered for you. But yeah, I've not played it, so I don't know. If anyone has played the console version, though, and has an answer, then feel free to ping AJ an answer, because that would be really helpful, of course. Another 12-hour live stream this weekend. Surely it's your new schedule moving forward. That's kind of my thing now, Kev. You're right. Like, I might as well. I've got all these sweets to eat, so so we need to get them done. Yeah, I think it could be mentoring. Yeah. Leluja has a video on every version of this year's game. There we go. It's worth having a look out for then. He makes some good stuff, that Leluja, doesn't he? It'll be in the training menu if it is then there. A cracking looking lad coming through my youth intake today. 20 determination worth 18.5 million at 15 years old. Fucking hell. Wow. Got a club to pay for as well. That's a good point, Nigel, actually. That's not a bad shout. Maybe I do have to do this. So, right. Come on, let's get it sorted then. Right, Forest Green next. Looking at that, there's some. I think the biggest teams we need to avoid are West Brom and Portsmouth, and they're playing each other. Really, obviously the under-21s are like sort of different, but we're not massively out there in the Pizza Cup. I think, you know, we can certainly be part of that consideration. I think Forest Green definitely will take that as an option. Panel are a bit decent on last night's playoffs, wouldn't you say? I thought they were very good indeed. You're right. You're absolutely right. Kev, I thought it was great. I thought as well the overall entertainment was very good last night. I sent the tweet out to Hooch to see if we can get them on board for TJFMFC. Yes, get it done. Tag Hooch. Spam Hooch. Make sure it happens. They can be our first sponsor on our shirts. I definitely wouldn't have a betting company on the shirts, but if it's a Hooch on the front, we can have a bit of Hooch on the shirts, can't we? You know, Tony Gabapo could be on his way off to Maidstone. It's not a problem. Walking next. 22nd in the league. We might need to potentially look to rest someone. He's a scout at Bristol Rovers. Seems a bit of a odd one to try and take right now then, because we have to pay for him, then we might end up moving, so. You misunderstand, Rich. Hooch is a connoisseur's drink. Distinguished gentlemen and distinguished ladies drink Hooch. Not underage. Not underages. Clearly. Not at all. Clearly, Palmer, welcome in. I'm new. How am I doing? We're doing very well, thank you, Palmer. Welcome. Hope you're well. So this is the British Steel Challenge, by the way, if you are new. So the plan is we're trying to win everything in England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. We're currently in season 10 of the save, and we're at Oxford United at the minute. So things are going pretty well. As you can see, League One, second in the league. Second. We're expected to be mid-table by the season preview people, but I think deep down, most people wouldn't have thought that. You know? We're proving a lot of people wrong. John Motson spent last night in his pub watching football. Fair enough, that's nice to hear. That is pretty cool, to be honest. That is pretty cool. Yeah, sad news about John Motson as well, by the way. Always came across as a very, very nice man and a proper football, not just a football man, but like a gentleman as well. That's the main thing. And I think the world of sport lost someone yesterday, not just football. So yeah, very sad. Player lookup. Who are you wanting to see? Sarmantania. Bear in mind we have attribute masking on, so who you're looking for might not necessarily be there, but he was, as the kids say, the GOAT. Yeah, him and Peter Brackley, I would say. The voice of Football Italia. Also, bear in mind, we're 10 years in, so some players either have developed or some players have moved on. Some players might not even be in the database anymore. It's definitely worth a look, though. Let me know who it is you're trying to find. Ooh, 495 Thunderbird red in the cellar. That'd be a true connoisseur. Oh, yeah. He would indeed. AJ's found it. There we go. In the training tab. Nice one. See? Everyone helping each other out. This is what we like around here. Enthusiasm was second to none. It was indeed. Saw the letter John Motson wrote in reply to Ian Dennis as a youngster trying to get into sports journalism. I haven't seen that. Is that on Twitter? Is it possibly the closing? If so, I might have to have a little look for it. Yeah, Motson will absolutely have done a book. Steam Power picks it up. Jones over the top. Johnny Edge. He wants away at the minute because he's not really playing. Webb on his wrong foot. Rogi's got the thing there, see? Excellent. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Thank you for your letter asking about a career in sports broadcasting. I'm happy to tell you how it came about for me. I ought to point out that enthusiasm and opportunity are the two big things you need, since openings do not come up all that often. Lots of hard work and perseverance is involved. I started by joining a local weekly newspaper as a trainee reporter, serving an apprenticeship in news coverage as well as sport. This is quite a well-worn route. The way to start is to write to the editor of local papers in your area, asking whether they have any vacancies. From there I moved to a provincial daily paper, from there into local radio, at first on a freelance basis. There are now many more local and commercial radio stations than when I started, and I would suggest again that you contact the station's manager in your area and tell them your ambitions. It may well be you'll be considered too young for a full-time post at present, but you could ask whether there is possibly any freelance work so that you can establish your name in their minds. May I say finally, by way of encouragement, that when I left school I did not get a job on the paper right away. Indeed, I worked in a bookshop for some months while waiting for a vacancy to crop up in journalism. The important thing is not to get too impatient, because a lot of people are trying to gain a foothold in the business, which, I mean, keenness is often the key. I wish you every success and hope you are able to let me know if and when you find a route into our business. I hope this is of some help. What a guy. What a guy. Oh, John Motson. Like, absolutely salute you, sir. That, you know what I mean? There's a hooch with your name on it. What a gentleman. What a gentleman. Beautiful stuff. Headed BBC notepaper, yes. I've got his book, The Famous Sheepskin Coat and the Snow Picture on the cover. Somehow just haven't found time to read it. My only advice is make sure your mentor has high determination the mentor is. Alright, that's in reference to mentoring groups. Even JP Sports, how are you, pal? Welcome in. Nice to see you. Finally able to catch some more of the stream. We've been around. We've been here for a little while. We've got some bits and pieces going on. Much more audio books these days. Yeah, I think so as well. If they're read by the right person, like if the person's got the right voice, then it absolutely makes it a bit more palatable. Sometimes just easy to digest as well, because you know it's. So I listened to the Alan Partridge one in the voice of Alan Partridge is so much better than just physically reading it. Over the top. What are we doing here? This is just not really happening at all, is it? Let's mix it up a bit. Go 4-2-4. We've got a highlight. Actually, let's have a look and see what the highlight does. Can't see it now. We've cancelled it off. Excellent. Respect the point, I suppose. Really. What can we do here? I mean, again, walking and near the bottom, we're not able to break teams down that way below us. To be honest, I'm not sure whether they sit too deep and we don't break them down that way. Heating over the top. I mean, we're still 2 points clear of Swindon. 2 behind Bournemouth. Granted, they've got 2 games in hand, but this is going to come back, isn't it? This is going to come back. Intercepted by Webb, that'll do. Over the top. Johnny Edge isn't going to get there. We've lost the ball again. Respect the point as always. Agreed. Agreed. Let's just lock it down. Ball's over the top. I'm thinking here like we're trying to lock the game out, and then it's all of a sudden like, uh-oh. There we go, that'll do. Westwood just hold on to it. We'll take it. We'll take it. As I say, respect it. It's 0-0. Like, you know what I mean? We've not conceded. That's the main thing. You know, yes, we've not scored, but hey, we haven't conceded a goal. Again, we're not expected to be all the way up here. So that's totally fine. We're in the middle of November. We're still second in the league. What are we doing this high? And away from home, yeah. And without our star striker Aguero as well, we've sort of rested him. There's a couple of players that are sort of not quite in form, I guess. We've got a little bit of like, yeah, we swapped a couple of players around. Mid-season dip will come, Leclosian, absolutely. And we kind of got to try and preempt that, and maybe we have to keep a bit of an eye on what happens with the formation, because at the minute it's still looking fairly solid. It doesn't look like it's sort of got two huge weaknesses in it. But we do have to be aware that eventually that will happen. And we'll have to not necessarily completely rejig the tactic, but there'll be something that just stops working with it. And we'll have to see what happens there. So Gaboppo's gone out on loan. So that's fine. 2 games in quick succession here, Gillingham and Salford. Some January shopping should give us a boost, and the playoffs should be in the bag. I think so. I think we've got a couple of players that are complaining, so we might have to look to move players on. Players like Bobby Fresno, who 1.7 million. I'm tempted to start offering out now, to be honest. If you've got teams like Norwich and Watford, Swansea, like if they're interested, 1.7 million, let's, let's see what we can get for him. That's a lot of money to go into the coffers. You know, the other players as well who aren't having a great time. Scott Guest. You know, do you recoup £100, 100% back? It's difficult to tell, isn't it? You never fully know. Even if we only take half of it, you know, we're still gonna be up. We've got 133 grand. Since the other transfer pages, where would I see that? Clauses maybe, or transfer centre, finances. 75%. Okay, 75%. So, okay, so yeah, so if we get $1 million for him, and we get that to keep, that's fine. That'll 100% fund us for the rest of the season. Casey wants to leave. Morden is still unhappy, but despite the fact that the player who he's unhappy about has already left. So that's interesting. But yeah, I mean, we can, you know, there's a couple of players who are getting concerned. 1.3 million added to the transfer budget. £2 million. If he's complaining, let's get him gone. And we can keep him on loan as well. Oh, excellent. Right, doesn't cost us anything. £2 million, £1.3 million in the bank, and we get to keep the player. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Joby McAnuff has taken over at Sunderland. Wow. Not quite who I was expecting to take over, to be honest. Left Preston. Maybe we would have been part of the consideration period. Dunfermline, QPR still obviously available. The closing, I found the start of my BSc, and I don't think he's anyone's going to beat it. A youth new gen I had at Boreham Wood, which I took to the Cymru South. 40 games, 55 goals, 14 assists. Love it. I absolutely love it. That's incredible, to be honest. That's Katamari numbers. That's Closer and Phillips numbers, yeah. Bentley Panzervecchia. What a name. That, yeah, just... Oof. Yeah, that works. That works. Fresnel drops lack of football request. Excellent, because he's getting sold now. Bloody footballers. Bloody footballers. Yeah, I've got one of those Bentley Panzervecchias. Yeah, bloody terrible. 37 miles to the gallon, that's all I'm getting these days. It says in the manual I can get 40, but I'm not getting anywhere near that. 37. Evening, Rich Owens. How are you, sir? Welcome. Pleasure to see you in, as always. Hope you are well. We're hanging out, man. We're having a nice little time around here. It's all very lovely. It's all very, very lovely. It is indeed that there, Rich Owens. Check to see where I go to. Dundee United. Scout rating D. I mean, that's not what you want, is it? Should we keep Paul Tracy out or put Mark Jones in? Put Mark Jones in for now. What's happening in your world, Rich? How is everything going? Hope life is treating you good. We're just switching players around. do that. We're still second, Rich. Second in the league. We've got the Hooch out, by the way. Hooch is here, so. We beat Peterborough in the FA Cup, so I had to be honest. A decent Friday replaced the stolen car with a less stolen car. Can't complain. That's good going, man. That's very good work. Some would class that as an absolute win. Hackney, power inside. Perkins goes down. Which you can't commit crimes to get over big. Crime committed. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Rogie with a wonderful free kick right in the top corner. Outstanding work. Look at that, Rogie. In off the underside of the bar. Beautiful. Got 5 more points and we shouldn't go down. Sheffield Wednesday, Rich, down there, 21st. What's going on? I don't know. One wrong makes a right. Wednesday, 21st, am I managing or something? Yeah, well, it could be me, Rich, to be honest. I'm not doing much better on the Athletics Sheffield Wednesday save, to be honest. Second season and I'm still not anywhere near the promotion party, so it's not fun. No, it's nowhere near as sad as Rajo's getting them. Rajo's now liking them to Bordeaux. But he hates them just as much as Bordeaux, possibly even more. Ball over the top. Perkins is through. Fuck Sheffield Wednesday. exactly, Rajo. In fact, here's the thing, Rajo. If you had to pick one side to manage, like, and I know it's like literally like going, what would you rather be, poked in the left eye or the right eye? But if you had to have one of them, if it was like there's literally only like one team to manage out of those two, who would you have? Who would you have out of Sheffield Wednesday or Bordeaux? Who do you hate the least? It's not who do you prefer, it's who do you hate the least. Probably choose Wednesday. There you go. And any other save, you just ship the whole squad out and replace them without the Yorkshire thing. I mean, look, you don't have to do the Yorkshire thing. Rich, you don't have to. All that is, that's just an extra needless parameter to the challenge. So problem is that when you ship them out, there's nobody wants to come back in. That's the problem. Oh, you had a really good new gen for Wednesday. That does definitely help. That definitely helps. That when you said you'd buy a football club, yeah, yeah. You know, we'd do it, and again, I'd have that local angle as well. So we'd only have local players. So yeah, I'm gonna make it needlessly complicated for myself. Of course we are. That's what happens around here. We make life more difficult. Oh. What a strike that is from Paley. Incredible finish. No one's expecting that. Cuts himself inside, pings it up. What about that? Oh, keeper's getting nowhere near it. Chamedu, Rogie. Mordner can come on, I think. Tracy can come off for Jones. Actually, no, Casey can come on. Wednesday didn't sack me, which is the reason I'd take them over Bordeaux. I feel bad. Like, Bordeaux had the potential to be something. Bordeaux gave us Adley, remember? So it wasn't all that bad. I mean, yes, it was difficult, and France is horrible to manage in, but still, can't all be as bad as we remembered, right? It was definitely as bad as I remember it being. Rogie, Maguire. Ball's over the top. Perkins, just go for it. Picked up Adley by Stuttgart save. He was very, very good. See? That's the thing. Evening, Wallander, welcome in. Hope you're well. I guess it's a bit like Barry Ballon d'Or, innit? You will, of course, want to manage Ballon d'Or in future saves. Perkins, 3-0. All good, thank you, Wallander. All good indeed. Hope you're well. Managing France again with one exception. Is it PSG, Raju? Is that the exception? If you don't want to manage PSG, I completely understand. They're owned by awful people. I'd be tempted by in France again. Like I had a save years ago. I've told you this story loads of times, but I had a save years ago where I was Clermont foot, and that was really good fun. Really good fun. But again, like, am I being slightly blinded by nostalgia in the same way that I know when I go to managing Wales in this save, it's not going to be as much fun when I was at Barry Town before, just as the pandemic was happening. I know that, isn't it? Nice were fun in the beta. Thuram as a unit. Yeah, the law is cracked. How many seasons are we at Oxford? This is our 4th season at Oxford now, Wallander, but it's our 10th season in the actual save overall. So we're doing the British Steel Challenge, so the plan is to win everything in England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. We've had 6 seasons in Northern Ireland. This is our 4th season, as I say, in England. So we've won 8 trophies out of 35 so far. And we are still, we're top of League One now. Bournemouth have got a game in hand, though, so might slip to second. But we're still in the Papa John's Pizza Cup. We're still in the FA Cup. We've been knocked out of the Carabao Cup, but we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm trying to remember where I was last time. It was a couple of weeks ago. A couple of weeks ago was probably still Oxford. If it wasn't, then it would have been Linfield. But I think the last couple of weeks that we've been here, so we may have been in Vanarama National, though, to be honest. So we took over the job at the National League. Then we finished second the first season, missed out on the playoffs. Second season, we won the league and the FA Trophy. Here, Odd, hello, Carter, welcome in. God kveld to you. Hope you're well. Hope life's treating you good, man. Say, Mr. J, where can people watch past streams? Hey, you know what, Rogie? I like the cut of your jib. You're really, really good at this sort of stuff. I need to remember to have this as a command now. Where is TJFM Live? You can follow the old episodes right here on TJFM Live, a YouTube channel devoted entirely to their old streams. So there you go. Go and do that. And drop a follow on there. If you missed them here, then they're all there. And there's a lot. So it goes all the way back to the start of this save. Sampdoria's on there from FM22 as well. That's a fun watch. It's not a fun watch. It's very sad. It's very sad. Watching a man just trust the process. Sampdoria should not have trusted the process, is all I can say. They're partly to blame. You know, if they'd have just had the balls to sack me, none of this mess would have happened. Subscribe, nice. Appreciate you, Wallander. Bournemouth game's coming up now as well. That's a huge, huge match. What's the schedule looking like? I mean, it's looking heavy, innit? Salford now, then Bournemouth, then Forest Green in the Papa John's, then Lincoln, Colchester, Sheffield Wednesday, Wimbledon, Bournemouth again, Bolton and Hull. Takes us up to New Year's Day. It's been hard. Are we actively looking for a new job or just leave when sacked or offered? And it's a mixture, really, to be honest, because we sort of have to keep our eye peeled a little bit for something that's a bit more interesting than Oxford, but like, we need to look at as to what we can win. But then again, it could be argued that there was a moment when I got offered the job in Bristol City and I turned it down. Should have maybe moved there. Maybe. We'll see. We might have to look at moving at the end of the season. Put it that way. Callum, redeeming 90s food items. What would you like? I might open the poppets, actually. QPR is an option. Look, here's where we are, okay? Thing is, Ipswich second. See, now look, I'm not playing this game properly, am I? This is the problem. I'm looking at these teams going, ooh, who's interesting, rather than, ooh, who could I win something with? Like, I'm looking at Ipswich going, oh, that's an interesting save. That's caramel poppets the other day. They were immense. I've got orange ones here. Orange ones. Do you have struggle to sleep with Sugar Crush? Yeah. A little bit. We go to Scarborough. Scarborough. Both QPR and Preston are available. Preston, of course, will have no money, I'm guessing. Asian Steel. Finances, okay. QPR secure. Scarborough seems about right for us, Rich, to be honest. Like, oh, Tony, you're in the automatic promotion spots in League One, are you? I am, yeah. I'm now off to Vanarama North, where Scarborough Athletic is 16th. It just feels like the right move at this time of our career, you know. It's close to home. We're at the Flamingo Land Stadium. Why would you not want to be there? That's another reference I haven't got. Missed out, haven't I? Yeah, I don't think there's anything to move to just yet. Ipswich again would be fun, but we're not going to win anything at, you know, if they're sat on 21st, 22nd. We're not going to get the Man U job, are we? There's no chance. I mean, there is a Man United job there, but we're not getting it. There's no way we'd get the Man U job at all, even with my level of pessimism. It wouldn't be realistic, would it, to go and even attempt to have a conversation about that? Apply anywhere they can even say no. It's not even popular music, TJ. It might be a little age, that track. Oh, I don't know if I like that. Popular music's bad enough, isn't it? I might get that news article that laughs at you applying. I always like that one. Yeah. And the thing is, it's funny if if people are laughing, but at the end of the day, they're the ones in 18th place in the Premier League, not me. If you get the United job, can you wangle me a season ticket? Oh, Kev, you'll be in the dugout with me. That's what we'll do there. Up the Ox. What would you want at Man U? The Carabao Cup. That's what I'd be after. And if they could win the Carabao Cup on Sunday, that'd be brilliant. Just to stop the evil of Newcastle winning before Man United become the evil as well. I'd take a very labour-intense 10-0 win for Man United. I'll be fine with that. Poor Carrius, if it is 10-0. Yeah. I mean, they'll blame him, of course they will. Off to London in the morning to bring a trophy back. If you're going to steal it, then good luck, JR, but enjoy your trip, though. Enjoy the day. I genuinely hope it's a fun day out, but I do also hope that you lose. Caffeine, welcome in, buddy, welcome in. Have you heard the news, Caffeine? Have you heard the news that we did a draw earlier? Yes, you have won something. You have, yes. So we were doing the draw for the surprise shirts, and we got a little bit giddy, and we thought we'd give away another prize. So we've given away some desserts. Now, I don't know how we get this across to you in the States, but we maybe do like a voucher or something for like some sort of dessert house or dessert parlour or something. Don't worry, I always hope Sunderland lose every time they got to Wembley. That's a good point. That's completely fair. That's completely fair. Makes complete sense. It's complete sense to be upset of a team that gets there. Canada, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we can get you something across to Canada. So is it anyway both teams can lose? That would be the ideal situation. That would be, actually. Like, imagine if both the teams came out of the tunnel and they just looked and just went, nah, no, maybe we don't bother this year. Like, just unfortunately, sports washing's not a thing, so we're just going to cancel the game. I'm going to declare this season's Carabao Cup null and void. That'll be good. We'll do that. I think that'll be reasonable. I think a lot of people would find that endearing as well, to be honest. Hello, JM Thoughts. Welcome in, buddy. Pleasure to see you. Hope you're well. I'll be seeing you properly tomorrow, won't I? We're off to watch York City play. Myself and JM and Gavin Brash. York City versus Yeovil. That's how we're going to spend our Saturday afternoons. Waiting a long time for Man United to win a trophy. Don't be cancelling anything. You can't say you've been waiting a long time for Manchester United to win a trophy. There's some football clubs who've never seen anything. So, you can't be like, oh yeah, we've been waiting so long. Like, yeah, most football fans never see anybody win anything. So, yeah, definitely not tomorrow morning. Certainly not the time I'll be getting up, Jim, as well. So, tomorrow afternoon-ish, around about kick-off time. Oh, hang on, they've gone down the wing. Nicely intercepted, that'll do. Get our counter-attack on. Perkins. Inside. Wrong ball. Wins it back, though. Oh, dreadful. It's fine, respect the point. We're still resting a Guru on the bench. Not brilliant. Salford have had 10 shots. We only have 5. Oof. Should I get the bus? This place you're planning to go to after, is it in town? I don't know what we're going to do after it, to be honest, Jem. We've got to wait and see, because there's only going to be us 3 that are going, so I'll ping you some messages and work out what the best thing is. I was considering driving, actually, and just parking up at the ground, then deciding what we do afterwards, so We shall see. Yeah, Matt's not coming. Matt's not coming because there's only a few of us. So he was like, once we worked out how much he was having to spend to get there, I was like, stand down, Matt. Stand down. Like, it's going to cost you a lot to get here. Duff sacked by Hull. Ooh. They're 18th, though. Evening, Barton. How are you, buddy? We'll have a lovely time. We'll have the best time. We said that we'd be looking at someone like Hull as an option. Didn't realise that Hull was going to be so far down. I mean, poor RDF wouldn't have any idea. He's not have any idea what's happening at Hull. We're not going for Hull. They're too low down now, to be honest. No. We're not looking to change clubs, to be honest. We're still sat second, so it seems silly to consider moving at this point until the end of the season. Really, it will be the new Portadown. It should be the other way around. We should be where Hull are, and Hull should be where we are, and we should be going, that's a great opportunity. Let's go get the Hull job. But at this moment in time, it feels like a step down. So even West Brom, like, look at that. There's still enough daylight between us that going to West Brom would seem a bit of a strange idea. So I think we're probably in the best position we are right now at this point. Is it easy to get to the stadium from town? I think there's a bus, Callum. I believe there's a bus. I think it's the number 22. Not that I've... It's going to sound incredibly... Bobby Fresno. He's turned down the move to Watford. That would have been £2 million in our bank account. Doesn't want to go. FC Cologne are interested in him. Norwich are interested in him. Wow. Okay. Not liking this save. Sheffield Wednesday 21st, but they're going to be down that far. See if we can up that a bit. Let's see if there's a bit more money to pick up for them. If you ever fancy a trip to my local non-league football club, Shep Shed Dynamo, I'll be there in a shot. Could do, actually. That's not a bad shout. Shep Shed. Look at that, 3.5 mil we can get for Stoke now. Oh, I think we undervalued him. Trying to send him to Watford. 3.5 mil. See what he thinks. He's been kicking off, so if we get that, if we take 70%, then that'll be 2 million maybe or something. Tomorrow should be fun, just a little too far. Yeah, I think so, but I'm going to try and organise a Manchester meetup actually in the summer, so that'll be it's a bit more central for people, I think, to be honest. Tony York doesn't have any water. Oh dear. Oh no. There's a river though. There's a river. We can do that. It's not fully landlocked, Jam. We're all right. We're okay. Oh God, send for Coventry. Mars. Manchester, that's worse. It's the wrong side of the hills. I mean, look, everyone, football fans get parochial. We discussed this earlier, didn't we? Technically, everywhere's the wrong side of the hills. We're the wrong side of the border. Yorkshire Water's just tweeted they have a power outage. Water pressure is dropping. Go fill up a glass of water now. Really? Is that actually a thing? Oh, shit. Let me text Mrs. J. Just trying to work out what's what will they be doing at this point. Oh well, let's work out how long that takes then. Our tap is dripping. I've sent you a screenshot. What's the difference between a tech mod and a chat mod? In what sense? In what sense, James? Jasha Mundi, welcome in. Appreciate the follow there. Big Damo's been posting some awesome images in match tonight with Will Ospreay. What a match it is, by the way. Being away, have you decided on QPR yet? No. We've not touched QPR. To be honest, I'm just trying to work out about this whole water issue now in York. This is not fun. Let's have a look. I mean, it's a good job we've not got two little ones in it. I've got a 2 litre bottle anyway, so we've got that there, so that'll be fine for the little ones for their drinks tomorrow. But or we just go out. Not that's going to help either, but it's going to make showering difficult tomorrow. That's for certain. I imagine the whole of York slowly running out of water is an issue they fix pretty quickly. Oh yeah, absolutely. If I know anything about York, fixing stuff quickly is what they do. No, not true. The thing is, for a place that floods quite a lot, they're not great with water. Tory, they're much the same as rotten tomatoes. The wrong type of water. Oh God, it's always that, innit? Always the wrong type of rain. Would not happen in Tory Oxford. I know this. I hate the fact we're Oxford. I hate the fact that this is Tory town. I know. Right, we're up against Bournemouth, top of the table clash right now. A few back transfer for London, all around a halt, and they said it was the wrong type of leaves, and everyone was like, what the fuck? I know. This country's just an absolute shit show, isn't it? Absolutely is. Like I said before, I joked, I go, yeah, we live the wrong side of the border. Like I'd be up and over Hadrian's Wall if I had a chance, but Jesus. But to be fair, I'd be out of the country overall if I had the chance. Getting me off this shitty little rock. Get me somewhere that knows what it's doing. But yeah, though, country's just rotten in it. There's a name for you, Hadrian Wall. Oh yes, Rogie. Keep that in mind. Rich is suggesting a hydrate. No, we can't. We're not allowed to now. Rich, we've got to save it. The thing is, though, if he's Hadrian Wall, does he have to be really, really small then? Because Hadrian's Wall is one that you can step over it these days. Germany or Canada? Yeah, I'd take either of those. To be honest, Barton, I'd be happy south of France, but Canada for me would be where I fancy. Got family in New Zealand as well. We can't see us getting over there. I think it's I'm too old to emigrate now. That's the problem. You know, I've not got transferable skills. Nobody wants comedian. 43-year-old streamer. Like, you know. Oh, Tony, the Canadian podcast scene's really dipping at the minute. Is there any chance you can come over and help that? Oh, yeah, of course I can. Could do that. Need to renew my Swiss passport for a whole range of reasons, not needing to visit Europe for one. Yeah, exactly. What do you think of the new independent regulator for English football? I've not fully read it, Ali, I'll be honest, but I'm going to take a wild guess that it's not going to do anything. That's going to be my guess. You know, I think it's the horse has bolted, and I think that people, the Premier League are now saying that it's probably a good idea to try and stop bad money coming in because there's too much bad money in, and they don't want more bad money coming in because Well, that's not going to happen, is it? I don't even think there's a test on. From what I understand, and again from the snippet from the radio, there's no part about human rights or anything like that. So it's just like that's when it's swept under the carpet again. Like so, yeah, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. No transferable skills. Football manager, streamer, presenter, comedian. They'd be looking to have. Yeah, it's a good point actually. I'd say I need to be maybe do think maybe I should pack my bags off to Canada. Do it that way. West Ham owner David Sullivan is against it. Makes me think it'll be a good idea. There is that, I suppose. So 0-0 against Bournemouth. Happy about that. You know who you don't hear a lot about these days? Badgers. Don't hear a lot about Badgers, actually. That's a good point. Get some more Badgers on the go. Gilchrist. Back inside Maguire. Uh-oh, hang on. Stand him up. Ooh, that was a little bit close for my liking. Counter-attack on the goal? No, apparently not. The Dad was turned against the Tories by Badgers. Ooh. Great tackle. Great save. Oh, Badger with a hunt saying hunt the Tories. Slightly risky. We appreciate the joke. There you go. Appreciate the stream, gag. Good, yeah. No, appreciate that. Thank you very much, mate. Nice to have you in as always, of course. I think this is going to be our last one. If we can just edge it. So I am now part of me going like, oh, what's gone on? What's gone on with the water? Like, I can't be waking in the morning with no water. That's just going to be like... I know it's proper first world problems, but I'm now like, oh, it's a fucking pain in the arse. Just... You know. And obviously this affects me directly, so therefore it's the worst thing ever. That's right, just keep them where they are. Keep them where they are. Maybe not there. That's not quite what we wanted, is it? Oh dear. Oh dear. Right, 1-0. To be fair, we're sort of expecting... Well, we'd have expected to be losing against Bournemouth. 4 points, the difference now. We're level with Bradford. Bradford pulling themselves back up. Jenkins-Davies with a free kick. Straight at the keeper, sadly. Who needs water? It's a luxury. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll take that. That's a fair point. Yeah, if water was that good, everyone would have it, wouldn't they? So I mean, it's not like tomatoes, is it? I mean, ball down the line. Perkins pulls it back. Oggy. There we go. The madness. This isn't non-league. It's not non-league. No, we're in League One at this point, madness. We've started to move ourselves up a little bit. It's a top of the table clash in League One as well. Hopefully rescuing ourselves a point against league leaders Bournemouth. Maybe even a little bit more. to be honest. Even Rooney, welcome in. Perkins picks it up. Fresno thought about it. Got no water, just bathed in champagne. Good point. Very good point, actually. There's no other use for it, really, is there? You know. Even Rooney, how was the stream, buddy? Nice to have you in. Appreciate the raid as always, man. Team are going well. We think we've just about potentially rescued a point against top of the table Bournemouth. We're second. So, massive. The real life one. It's still a thing. We've got some conversations we need to start having. It's gonna take a while. We're not gonna get one done in a week, but yeah, we'll get there. We'll absolutely get there. Conversations will happen. I'm gonna try and find a pitch first. Well, I've got some ideas. Thankfully, I'm an ideas person, but following things through, that's the issue. I need people who can sort of like do stuff, you know. Huge point, massive point against Bournemouth. First place, second. Love that. Right. I think we play the FA Trophy, the Papa John's game. So we need to make sure that's confirmed title credentials. It has, hasn't it? It really has. Fresno's agreed to join Stoke. We've got £2 million in the pot as well. That is massive. £3.4 million transfer. Biggest that we've actually done. £2 million back in the bank, and Fresno stays for a loan back as well. Win. Excellent. Van Nistelrooy's gone to Man United, so there you go. We would never have got the Man United job. Actually, what was that Swedish striker like? £500,000 going to his previous team. Oh, what? Yeah. Jesus, to a team in Wales, like, we need to go and manage these guys, to be honest. We've got to think big here, Jam, right? It's okay. Let him go. He's 20. Right, he's 19 in fact, okay? We've got so much more money for him than we thought we'd actually get. Yes, it's sad to see him leave, but he's gonna stay. He's gonna stay with us for another season. So, like, for the rest of the season. So we're actually all right. Ethan Brierley's not a bad looking player. Be a terrific signing. Maybe he would. Maybe he would actually. Right, let's go and give Forest Green something, shall we? Hope he's the new RJJ. Keep him on loan forever and sign him on a free. FM23, I sold a player for 170 million. Didn't realise he had a 50% sell on. Oh, A French lower league club got 85 million. Greatest regret was disabling the ability to add managers to teams. Oh, yeah, that's a thing, isn't it? That's a thing. Board are very, very happy with us. Very happy indeed. Currently untouchable right now. Supporters, it's going fine. Yeah, it's fine if you want to be in a title picture come Christmas. If that's the sort of thing you find fun, then whatever. But for us, not so much. Thanks. Always read the small print. 100%, 100%. Grudge match with the Forest Green manager. No love lost. I think it's one of the former players we've got there that's a no love lost one. Whereas it is here. Appia Force, and he was there for us when we first joined Oxford. We wanted to keep him, but we ended up cashing in. So 150 grand as well we got. So he's been a regular for them, to be honest. We replaced him with Hackney, so I think we did okay. Joe Musa. Let's offer him a trial, see if he fancies it. 35, 120, let's do that. See if we can get him in. 12 career goals, he'll never score against you. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Oh my God, he scored a hat-trick. Oh dear. Fringe player, right. Okay. Let's think about this, shall we? Gilchrist is starting to tire, so maybe Casey can go in. Rogi's back. We'll play Fresno, seeing as though he's now officially leaving. He knows what's happening with his career. We need to go full strength, don't we, really? Because we need to make sure we win the Pizza Cup. Yeah, this is our bread and butter now. Right. Let's go for it. Oh dear. Big match against Forest Green. Let's go. We're in yellow, they're in pink. Great kits, by the way, Forest Green. Great kits. Papa John's do vegan pizzas as well. Good. I'm glad for that. Pizza Cup fever. We've all got it. None of us have been vaccinated against Pizza Cup fever. Cashman, great block. Who was that? That was Casey, wasn't it? I think that's just a lack of match sharpness there, I think. Put him in for the big games. McGuire, Rogie. Actually, it might have even been Power, to be honest. Expect better from him. Chimedu, Fresno. Cross it in. Oh, Guru. Off the post. Power. Hackney's gone flying in there. He's got to go, ref. Surely. Get him gone. Cashman's gone. We're playing 10 men. Right, now we've got to make this one count. Chamadou, Fresno, Power. Hackney gives the ball away. Start thinking with this, lads. Free kick, Rogie's stood over it. Straight off the wall, sadly. Stevens, Rogie, Paley, the Guru's giving it away. Katongo, Jose Katongo. Slides it. Rogie, ball through for Oggy. I think he's offside. Good save. Come on, boys. Just give us one goal. That's all we need. Then we can see the game out from there. It's a bit wayward from Rogie. To be honest, not like him. Maybe he's feeling sorry for Forest Green. Go have it back, lads. Have another go yourselves. Don't worry about us just yet. Hackney whips it in, heads over the top. Don't let us go at penalties. We can't let it go at penalties. We've got to go step up in that 4-2-4 now, I think. Just can't go to penalties at all, can it? It's let's say 4-2-4. Hopefully we can get something, even if it's 1-0. 1-0 will do. Just don't make a silly mistake in defence. Fresno back inside. Hackney. Oh, almost to Rogie. Rogie back to Hackney. Oh. Absolute ping pong ball. Have a watch of this. How the hell's that stayed out? Then it comes back here. Maguire pings it off the keeper, defender. I've got no idea what's going on there. Clip that, because that is exceptional. What a goal. What a goal. We're never going to see a goal like that again, surely. You will never see anything like that again. Outstanding stuff. Hackney. Chamadio in. Maguire picks it up. Hackney out to Casey. Lifts it up, but no one's there, sadly. Stevens launches it. Power. Casey. Over the top edge isn't going to get there. Katongo. I'm wondering if we drop back down from positive at this point. Hutchinson pulls it back over the top. A little bit concerned now that we're still only 1-0. We're 12 shots, two on target though. Oh, balls over the top. Nice block. That'll do. Slimani did almost identical shot and deflection last night in the Champions League. It's not a match engine bug. That's the thing, Rich, though. Some people would have you believe that's a match engine problem rather than that's just what happens. Johnny Edge is through. Oh, Johnny Edge. I would say that's a real thing. Bit of head tennis. That's right. Keep your wits about you, boys. Oh. We haven't got links turned on, Jam. You need to ping it as a whisper. We're going to look at it. We'll give it to Rogie if he's still about. Or Rogie or Rajo can deal with it. Uh-oh. Corner coming in last few minutes of the game, sorry, 10 minutes to go. Prentice scored. Ping pong goals. Yes. Love it. Love it. Oh, free kick. It's fine. Just get the free kick. Nothing else matters. It's fine. Just see the game out now. Couple of minutes to go. Power covering. Rogie over the top. Webb's through. It's got to bury that, surely. You would think. Maguire looks around. Just had a player do a 42-yard chip and end up scoring such a nasty goal. Lovely. My right back just came back from a broken leg and some bastard broke his wrist. It's just, yeah, that's not even like bad luck. That's just like, what? Gotta be kidding me, surely. Oh yeah, 100% gotta get a clip of that Carlisle fan. Pop it in the Discord if you've got it under the saves thing. Not gonna lie, I thought you were saying broke the other leg. Yeah, that's where I was going as well, bro. I was like, oh, broke the same leg again. Oh, Webb's through. Oh, beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Great goal from Webb. Bruce. With Spider-Man in there. Webb pings it up, out of the way. Oh, we've got nothing against vegans at all, Carlisle. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. 2-0 win, 10 men for Forest Green. We'll take that. Absolutely we will. And that puts us into the next round of the Papa Johns, and we're still second in League One, and we're still in the FA Cup. I would class that as a successful stream tonight. I don't know how you guys feel. Oh yeah, and we broke our club transfer record, and we've brought in 2 million quid for players to sign in January. That's not bad, is it? That's not bad. And we might be about to sign Ethan Brierley, who's very interested in discussing terms with us. Let's give him the money. Give the money. We've got the money. And we drank a hooch, yes. And we drank a hooch. Who have we got in the third round? Sutton. So it's not looking too bad in the Papa Johns. It's not looking bad at all. We'll take that. We'll take that. What I think we need to do now then is let's say thank you. Thank you everyone who's been tonight. Thoroughly appreciate it. You've all been spot on as always. Let's go see. Let's go see Sai. We see Sai quite a bit, but he's been on for a couple of hours. So go and give him some love. He's on Haverton Waterlooville, so let's go and show him. Yeah, go and hang out with Sai. You know what? We might be back tomorrow night. I'll see. I think we're close to partner numbers, so I'm tempted to try and see if we can maybe push it up over the edge. We'll see. Keep your eyes posted on Discord. And if not, we'll see you a little bit later on. But yeah, appreciate everyone. Take care. Hopefully my water works. Bye.